I tell you what, I'm gonna give out my damn phone number. Y'all call me.
This is your whole twin the spelled out the same way that it sounds. I don't want to put my stuff on Spotify. I don't want to put my stuff on Tidal. Go, my bad. It was peace. It was something wrong with the connection, but we got that fixed. So we good right now. So back to what I was saying. If in case you didn't hear me, I don't know if it was buffering or not, but tonight, peace to everybody. Salute to everybody who's given what this year is and what it's not, what these holidays are about, decoding them and everything. You know what I mean? That needs to know. But as we all do know, this is just the fiscal year. This is the beginning of the fiscal year. This is when the calendar actually, your business calendar supposedly goes red, or goes back to the black, and then you start off in the new quarter. So this is our fiscal year. So we and this is also the beginning of winter, the winter season, season of hibernation, the season where things basically die and are reborn again. The season of the season of you know the season of the dark side, right? Like the dark side of the moon, you know, that season. Because remember, like Blue Pill says, darkness is actually where things are grown. It's in the darkness. That's when actually things that's where at night. If you talk to any folk that their crops grow at night under the moonlight, you understand? Moonlight under the moonlight is where the UV rays. That's where the growth is taking place. It's not necessarily in the sunlight. It's at night inside of the mother's womb in the triple darkness. There's growth taking place. There's life being manifested in the darkness. Okay, bioluminescence. You understand? That's where growth takes place. So in what is known as the winter season, that's where this is the hibernation season, but this is also the time where things are being grown, things are being created, and they spring forth in spring, and then you pull up. You know what I'm saying? Pull up in a demon like I'm God. You know, that's when you pop out, you spring forward, you resurrect, you come out of the cocoon with wings, you come out of your cave and you shave your hair off, and then it's back to business. You come out of hibernation where you already, where you stored your energy and you got your shit built up and whatnot, and then boom, you execute. That's what spring is. Spring forward. So, you know, yes, indeed. But before I begin, I don't want to be rude. Can I get a roll call in the building? Because I need to take a tally of where the family is tuning in from so we can have a better idea about this whole global circle that's in the building tonight. East DC, Lafayette, all right? PA, my daughter's going to be in Lafayette tomorrow. A Town, Maryland, Dayton, Ohio, California, Philly in the building, Rhode Island in the building, Louisiana, Chicago, Chi-Town, salute. I'm going to see y'all soon. Philadelphia, shout out to Black and Nobel, shout out to Haz and all of the fam out there. Haz be in the building, okay? In Virginia. We're coming back to Norfolk, Miami, Philly, Los Angeles, LA. We're gonna be in Las Vegas, February 20th to the 23rd. So LA, let's link. Detroit, H Town in the building, Oakland in the building, BK. But you in Washington. BK is everywhere. Salute to BK. I'm holding down BK. All right, Seattle, Sacktown, Houston. Yes. hmm Virginia Beach. Shout out. Right? We coming back to Norfolk very soon. Charlotte, let's do something. I need to be in Charlotte. I need to set up some businesses in Charlotte. I need to do some workshops in Charlotte. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, I need the pillars in Charlotte. Like, let's make that happen. Baltimore, Utah. Okay, Hunts Point, 174th. Come on, you right here where I'm at. You in the building. It's so ill that people are hitting me. They in the building, but they really around my building. They really they this shit is so local that I'm online, and there's people right around here that's on this whole stream right now, along with everyone around the world. If I'm coming to Charlotte, I definitely am coming to Charlotte. Like I have to come to Charlotte, Phoenix, Arizona, Ohio. Salute to Ohio. We're gonna be back. We're coming to Serpent Mound, and we're coming to Cleveland very soon. Harlem in the building. You already know what it is. All right. Salute to Harlem. And as you know, that's my headquarters. I just came from Harlem. Okay. You know, that's my base of operations. The mecca of black consciousness. And I don't want to argue with anybody, and I don't want to get into any debates, but I do think I've been traveling around the world. I've been to many different, I didn't go all the way around the world, but I've been to many different places. And from what I've seen, Harlem might have that, that might be the center of a lot of culture, you know. Denver in the building. Salute to Denver. We just had some conversations with family from Denver about coming to South Florida very soon. I think the beginning of February we got something that's gonna pop up in South Florida. I'll keep you updated about that. I definitely know that Brooklyn will be in Brooklyn January 19th and 20th at Nicholas. Brooklyn Bed-Stuy, Red and Blue Pill, a 2-day lecture. Will be in Brooklyn January 19th and the 20th, and it's going to be live streamed. Okay. So if anybody wants to participate and see that lecture, that 2-day lecture, that red and blue pill, we going back to back. Not I go once and then he comes. No, we're merging our energy. So you're gonna see the twin pillars the same way that you heard us on a song going back to back. We'll be doing a lecture going back to back, giving you this information from a perspective that you'll never see if you never seen before until you see it this time. So um I'm gonna see if I could get the link dropped in the chat, but on YouTube the link will be in the description, right there in the description box. You'll see the Eventbrite link if you want to participate in that 2-day event. It's $44 for both days. So we're even giving the people the benefit of being there for 2 days for only $44. You would have to pay $44 to come one time. So we're making it easy on the people, and we're also offering a strong live stream. Not no shit that be buffering and your phone crashes. No, from Nicholas, Brooklyn Bookstore, Joel Benjamin and them. They have a reputation of having successful live streams, and it's strong and it stays, you know, on point. So we're going to be live streaming as well. Um, Go to Eventbrite and put hashtag twin pillars. I think when you put twin pillars in there, you will see the link that we have for that event that we got coming up in Brooklyn. And then, of course, in February, we'll be in Las Vegas with Professor James Smalls and Rick Ross, aka Freeway Ricky Ross. Okay. I want to just unpack that real quick and just talk about that because I did the math. I mentally did the you know, I meditated on that the other day. I'm watching Vlad TV, and there's a segment with Rick Ross. And if anybody's on a show right now, y'all watch Vlad, you know that he just did a segment where he have Rick Ross on there. Rick Ross is on there talking about conspiracy, but Rick Ross is also talking about how he's a tennis player and he knows Serena's dad and all of them, and they came up playing tennis, and tennis was his escape from being the biggest uh hand that played the plague of of what we have in the crack culture. You know what I mean? And I say that because ultimately, when you weigh it on the scale or the triple beam, it has more of a plague effect, because you could point out the beautiful things about that age. It spawned, you know, all kind of beauty. You understand? Because even in death is beauty. It spawned all kind of beautiful things, all kind of bright things. You know what I'm talking about? You know, it did all of that. But when you weigh it out, the loss that the people have incurred, and that we're still incurring to this day, you know, I would have to say that the shit is detrimental. It's something that was detrimental to the upliftment and the edification and the evolution and the upward trajectory of a generation of millions of melanated men and women from the 70s, 80s, and 90s, who had the world in their motherfucking hands. You feel me? But they succumbed to the mind state, and they succumbed to the basically the egregor, the collective consciousness that we've all succumbed to, because we've been programmed, and we've been basically we've been socially engineered, we've been lied to and misled, we've been given a false reality of both who we are, who everybody around us is, the whole world that we live in. You dig what I'm saying? There's all kind of things that have been hidden, and because of the day and the age that we live in, which is the age of enlightenment, this is the age, this is the age that was prophesied. That's why there's so many woke people. How could I take that shit personal when this is the age that they was talking about thousands of years ago? I was there when they were writing the books, but they prophesized this thousands of years ago. So even if people are fake woke, or the woke shit is a conspiracy or whatever, it's still a fulfillment of something that that was told will happen. It was prophesized, and I'm living in it, and I'm like, family, this is the shit we're living in prophecy. Nigga, this is the motherfucking water bearer. Niggas is taking showers like the deluge is here. There's a deluge of information. There's a flood, meaning that in the age of information, there will be a deluge of information. There will be a flood of information. And in the flood and in the deluge, nigga, yeah, you get the information, but you're drowning in it. So you don't even know what's what. What would you rather, a cup of water or to be drowning in that shit? You niggas want to be too drippy, you might drown in it. You know what I mean? Little baby try to help you out. He told you watch the wave. No, you don't want to drown in information. You want to be able to swim in it. You want to be able to intake the water into your body and nourish yourself, and stop dehydrating yourself. But in the deluge, you don't know where to go, who to follow, who to listen to, who's fugazi, who's not, who's real, who's an agent, you know what I mean? Like, who's a goofy, who's solid. It's this, you're going through this whole distraction and search, an endless search of dog chasing his tail to see who to motherfucking worship, you know, or who to follow in this age of followers, in this age of following. Hmm. You know, that's the mentality, like I said, because of the interaction that human beings are having with technological apps called social media apps. This YouTube shit right here that's on our phones, this can qualify for a social media app. But I'm mostly speaking about this, but also Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and those other things. And people could be like, "Oh, I don't have none of that." But 800 million people do. And they are being programmed to operate like teenagers, mentally, socially. Okay? Because keep in mind, when you download the app, it says for teens. And they're not lying to you or misleading you in that thing. All of these apps say for teens, because it's designed for the mind state of a teenager. And even if you participate in these apps or these social media apps, you are set up to act out, or to think, or to behave, or to move around and waste time and be distracted and be egotistical and narcissistic and about the individual. It creates the scourge of the eye. Okay? And the I can't exist when you're talking about the nation. There's no nation. Nation and individual don't mix. So you can't be about building a nation, but be about individualism. And it's all about I this, I that, I. When you're mentally living in scarcity because you don't realize that you live in abundance and I means nothing. There's no such thing as I. The I am, but not I, you know. Okay, Detroit is so cold. Salute to one of the homes of consciousness, might I add, because you got to be, or African centered, indigenous, melanated, modern day, conscious, Chi Town, Detroit. These are pillars. These places have to be either charged, reawakened, or you know what I'm saying? It has to be mined for the diamonds that are in those mines. Look at what, look at the musicians that come out of Chicago. Mound City, St. Louis. Wow. Mound City, right? A city of mounds. H Town. Somebody said, what about egregores? What do you mean, what about egregores? Yes. Be more specific to if you want me to explain about what egregores are, you know. So I'm near St. Louis. I was talking about that before. Okay. Yeah, it was Travis Scott cooning. Nigga, was a bird flying. You feel me? Was a frog leaping? He was cooning. He said some real crazy shit about Mike Brown. And there's a video floating out that's going viral right now where they kind of put him on a spot. Uncle Murder washed him up, and they put him on a spot, and they were interviewing him, and he was like, "Yo, I'm mad because black people got fake outrage, and I think Mike Brown, you know, he didn't deserve to die, but he got punished as a result of his actions. Some real cool off code has nothing to do with you don't speak around white people. You know what I mean? Like the shit was completely whack." And then some other things came out. So there's a coon alert going out on Travis Scott. I'm just putting that out there in case people didn't know. He's about to get canceled. Okay. You feel me? They're pulling up some receipts on that nigga, and he's looking real coonish these days. And that's upsetting because I thought he was more so Brown, the moderator in the room, who always holds it down, bar none. Like I need no she's Gucci, like Gucci fur. She's holding it down. Okay. I mean, yeah, you see the whole Kanye Travis connection, you know what I'm saying? And then you realize the Kardashian curse that I brought up 3 years ago. Can I get an amen? Because somebody, whoever saw the video that I did with Brother Rich in the train station, this was in 2015. This is right after Kanye got abducted, after he had the meltdown at the concert where he was talking at the Saint Pablo tour when he was talking about Jay-Z and Beyonce, and he had the meltdown, right? Then he got abducted. He got renditioned. Nobody started talking about that. I did a video with Brother Rich in the train station. I talked about graveyard pussy. You understand? I talked about cave Becky with gray pussy, and I was specifically speaking about Kim Kardashian or the Kardashians, the KKK, and the fact that they are spirit cookers, the place where they come from, they're known as gypsies. These Armenian women and whatnot, they have a way of actually soul snatching. And every single melanated person who has come inside of their brood, you understand, they have got their life force, they've gotten their reputation, they've gotten their mental mind state, you understand, completely transfigured and transmutated and changed to the point where the dude who was a decathlon athlete, you niggas did not see Bruce Jenner in the Olympics. They had fucking plastic dolls of Bruce Jenner. He's wearing heels right now. Okay. He's Bird Box. He turned into a bird. You understand? With a box. You know, living with the Kardashians. And he's walking around in Fashion Nova trying to look like all of Kylie and you know the other one and Chloe. This shit is crazy. And every nigga around him, you understand, is on some get out shit. I mean, we don't even have to go deep with it. Like these niggas are they're carrying out the trait movie that all of us saw to this day. All you niggas saw the movie, but all of a sudden we don't realize the sunken place when we see it. You understand? You know the cartoons when the birds be flying around niggas' heads? Like each one of these guys who they have under a spell, keep in mind, Gypsy, keep in point, graveyard pussy. Everybody has great, everybody knows a woman with graveyard pussy. Everybody that hit is no longer here, or they doing life, or some very unfortunate thing has happened to the individual. Okay. And they snatch body, but nothing happens to them. They just keep going along, putting niggas in mason jars, graveyard pussy. You know, it's going on for years and all kind of stuff. So you got to be very mindful of who you're dealing with. Like, I'm not blaming everything that's going on in Kanye's circumstances. I said in the video, if you see somebody get renditioned and they take them somewhere where they begin to deal with neural surgery, or they begin to put them on behavior modification programs, because not just drugs, the drugs are part of a program, then that person had, you know, risk that person risks the danger of not ever coming back and being the same. Because remember, they could torture you, beat you up, boop, boop, you know, have you in the box and all of that. And that might change a nigga. But when they start dealing with stuff like how they were doing with Kanye, and as you can see, after he came out of that situation, the person who we see collective we agree with, even dealing with, you know, they thought maybe it was still him with the music, but the person, the persona, the people were familiar with that night that he was on that stage ranting, that person no longer exists. And in the train station, I tried my best to be respectful, but to point out the fact that this is what we're seeing. And then years later, he popped up, or months later for that matter, because keep in mind, everybody forgot about them, forgot about him. The niggas sneakers was selling, but nobody was concerned with Kanye for many months. It's when he popped up with Donald Trump with blonde hair, looking crazy, that you know everybody popped out and was like, "Oh shit." So, you know, all right, we back. All right, we're back. For some reason, the phone shut off. You know what I'm talking about? And it went blank, but came back on. So I ain't a conspiracy theorist. Let's just keep rocking. I'm gonna leave Kanye alone though, because niggas' phones are shutting off out of nowhere. I'm gonna leave Kanye alone. We said what we had to say about that situation. You know, him and his family, they're procreating, right? They have another seed coming, right? So yeah, you know, keep having seeds while you're on medication, but that's all gravy. All right, but we back though. We back. Um, yeah, but let's chop it up tonight, man. This is Third Eye Thursday. You know, we got to get a little bit intricate and deep. I was just building and warming, like talk about the government shutdown. If you're a federal employee, then you know that these people ain't shit. You know what I'm talking about? What else can I say? You know, you're seeing that this presidency is beyond a joke. It's a travesty. It's a travesty. There would be riots if the Obama guy tried to pull off some of the things that you see Cheetos pulling off, right? Let's talk about time and cycles. What about times and cycles? What you want to talk about with times and cycles? Gas is cheap. I mean, yeah, gas is cheap where I'm at. Shit. But I don't, water. If you want to know what's in the water, limes. Limes. The new crime bill. I need somebody to talk to me about that new crime bill. I haven't dived into it. I heard a lot of stuff about the new crime bill. I also heard something about $500 billion for urban renewal, or something about urban revitalization. I don't have all of the information on that. I'm gonna look into it. Yeah, the young girl that was killed in Houston. I want to start off tonight's discussion unpacking and talking briefly about that. Although I don't have every single detail that's needed, for that story. I know that her name is Young Jasmine. I know that she was executed, right? And I know that without getting into all of the specifics about what people should do uh, in retaliation to something like that. But it's just heartbreaking to know that, you know, nobody has been held accountable for that heinous act to this day. It makes no sense. What I know though is that if it were the other way around, where somebody of the Anglo-Saxon race or one of those cowboys who live down there, if one of their children was gunned down on Christmas Day, they would be ready to wage war on the whole black community, right? So at what point and at what level and in what way, because that story has been broadcasted through the news media in the whole state of Texas, and it's grown legs, and it's nationwide, and it's all over social media where people from all states or all cities and towns in Texas reside, right? So I'm saying that to say that there are millions of people right now that know about that story. The ransom is only $500,000, and at this point, in the great state of Houston, Texas, where wealth is in abundance, every night at the clubs, every night, you know, at V Live and whatnot. So where like at what, because this is a broadcasted execution that these race soldiers successfully completed the calendar year of 2018, the end of the fiscal year, where they had 300 plus shootings similar to that. Because like I told you before, y'all are looking for a connection. I'm telling you that it's Fortnite. The shit is purged. They're like hopping. All of these shooters are part of the same network who are playing whatever Hunger game that they're playing. But you acting like they're not connected. They're playing. They out there shooting like this is Fortnite. They got shooter teams, and they go out solo, and they give you lone gunman, whatever, and that's code word. These are cells that are activating inside of the borders of America, and they're committing what is known as mass shootings, and nobody wants to tie it together. The same way that niggas will get on the PlayStation, the same way that you niggas will get online and simulate a motherfucking mass shooter spree, a murder spree all around goddamn Xbox and PlayStation 4. You know what I'm talking about? If it ain't GTA where you're having a mass shooting spree there, if it's not Call of Duty, right, where there's a mass killing spree there, if it's not Modern Warfare, where there's another whole, and I'm talking about people are neurologically connected all around the world via the headsets and via the neural network that PlayStation and Xbox and Sony and all of these conglomerates have successfully built through their video game systems. So little 7 and 5 and 4 and little Timmy and fucking Chester and all of these little kids in suburbia with nigger gripes who were born into families that got historical nigger gripes and raised them. You know I'm talking about, probably eating, nigger burgers. And they raised them up and took them shooting, and all of these little kids is on these online games, sniping people in Fortnite, bodying them, running down them. These are little kids killing grown people and then cursing them out and letting them know, fuck you, nigga. A neural network around the world where people get to practice mass shootings, mass killings, and the desensitizing of what it is to pop a nigga, to drop a nigga, to mop a nigga, to chop a nigga, right? To whop a nigga. Comes time to put in that work, and they do what? They take it from that virtual realm or that imagination realm or that that real, yeah, Sonic is in the building, or the realm of real, REEL versus REAL, and they take what's online and they bring it into the real world, or they take what's off the internet and they bring it into the real world. Okay? That's a process, but that's a form of chaos magic. You understand? That's a form of mean magic where something online can come into the real world. So they're taking their online shooting and they're bringing it into the real world, and they're having Grand Theft Auto motherfucking shooting sprees. Nobody don't see that. You know, this is how these kids are being trained. They're gonna be the same ones that they're flying. They're the ones flying drones, having complete aerial warfare, genociding in Yemen, places in Africa, and all kind of other places. These people inside of these places, they're plucking them from gaming tournaments. They're taking them from being mass killers and masters at the craft of killing via the video game simulations, and then they're putting them to the job to actually they're deputizing them, militarizing them, weaponizing them, and they're the ones that are cleaning up for these folks all around the world. You understand? And that's just how it goes. That's not a conspiracy, because you have to be very mindful and careful these days to really qualify everything that you're saying, especially a person such as myself that are going on levels that I go on. I have to be very mindful of my speech. Okay? Got to be mindful of my speech, because you don't want to say anything that you can't back up factually on the internet in 2019, going into 2020, when this whole goddamn thing is about censorship now, and they are targeting certain individuals not just to kick you off online, but to but to really take into effect what it is that you are saying. If you're saying something that they can use against you, you have to be very mindful of that. Okay, you have to be very mindful of that. I'm saying that I know people who watch these videos, they do their own videos. What I'm saying is, silence is golden at this point. You understand? Because that's the you never, if unless you want the whole world to know it. Unless you want the whole world to know it. So beefing on a computer and screaming into a phone, like, nigga, you'll never see me ever do that. I deal with real world scenarios, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? I don't play motherfucking phone games. This ain't game of the phones. Real life scenarios. You know, you got to see me, and we got to see each other in real life, like face to face, to this day. You know, So that's just my my public service announcement, because I promise you, the things that people are getting lined up for these days, or about to get lined up for, you know, you gotta you gonna see. I ain't even gonna say nothing. You will see. You know, you will see. So to this day. So you know, it is what it is. Uh the pole shift from Pisces to Aquarius and a planetary alignment. I already spoke about the pole shift from Pisces to Aquarius. The pole shift from Pisces to Aquarius is that if you look around, you're in the Aquarian age. You don't have to speculate. It's beyond speculation at this point. You are now in the age of information. You are now in the water bearer age. You're in the Aquarian age. The shift has happened. You understand? The shift has happened. You're in that age, the water bearer age, the age of information, the light code era, the age of the electrified age, which translates to the internet, the age of the internet, and all of that. You know, you're here. You're in it. What are you doing with your time? Because you're not going to be in this age or this era or this epoch forever. So how are you adapting, and how are you affecting? How are you disrupting? You understand? How are you manipulating, and how are you steering the motherfucking culture? How are you steering the wave? Like I said before, you got to get that straight. You know what I'm saying? You got to figure that one out. And that I'm providing the wave. I never came to ride any wave. Any wave that you see me on, my nigga, I'm Poseidon to that wave. I'm providing that shit. Like I'm on my own waves. Let's be clear. So going back to Houston, Texas, mob ties, a lot of mob ties. People have open carry in that state. What I would say, without sounding conspiratorial, is that people have the God-given and the constitutional right to form private security firms or of agencies of melanated men who can actively protect their daughters at this point in time, because I feel like this is going into 2020. That's our most precious asset, and why not? You know, not to be reactionary at the end of the day, but you know, there should be a very active push to bring that assailant to full justice. And when I say full justice, I'm saying capital F, capital U, capital L, and capital L. Full justice. You understand what I'm talking about? Full justice. Like when Justice, who is blind, takes her blindfold off, not the Bird Box Justice with the blindfold, the shit where you take it off and you see that there's an eye for an eye. When you see there's an eye for an eye, that's how they ended their year. Not to be emotional about it, but we just, you know, I'm just a reporter. I'm a commentator at the end of the day. I'm also an observer. I'm also somebody who takes certain things and attributes a scholastical narrative, or twist to it. Okay, so it's on me to say that at the end of the fiscal year of 2018, in the Lone Star state of Houston, Texas, the same state where my very own daughter resides, my blood, okay, there was at the end, almost at the end of the year, one of these race soldiers actively, right? Actively, it's not a race. When I say race soldiers, remember, everyone, there's soft targets all around, and it's not necessarily relegated just to races at the end of the day, because there's all kind of plays taking place. Like I said, when they play video games, niggas are not playing duck hunt. They're not picking out colors and whatnot. Everybody gets peeled. They had to discontinue the game where you would lose point if you shot an innocent bystander because niggas would not stop shooting. So we got to understand what we're dealing with. We have to understand what we're dealing with. People are programmed to be triggered. You better be about that. Trigger play is real. That trigger play is real. There's really, this whole world is being, well, this world that we find ourselves living in. I mean, we did the roll call. So the roll call, the world that revolves around everybody that answered in the roll call. We living in, nigga, it's gunplay. And I'm not talking about homie from MMG. I ain't talking about Rick Ross and them. But going back to Rick Ross, because I brought up Rick Ross earlier. Rick Ross has a fascinating story. I'm going to be doing a lecture on with Rick Ross in February 20th to the 23rd. You know, Rick Ross is one of the progenitors to the reality that we live in right now. This same reality that I'm sitting up here decrying and talking about and trying to decode and trying to understand and try to diagnose and try to unpack. You know what I mean? Because apparently this shit is, you know, it is worthy of unpacking. So the same person who I'm about to do a lecture with, I could place him in the earlier stages of a CIA operation, right? That was basically enacted by a sitting president and his advisors, along with the vice president who went by the name of George Bush Sr. The sitting president that I'm talking about is Ronald Reagan. Okay, the the drugs that found their ways into our neighborhoods, I'm talking about in the abundance, not just regular people who had party packs, not just designated hustlers or designated drug dealers who were designated, like, you know, that was what they were just part of the scenery. They were always there, but they were just part of the scenery. They were part of the script. You know what I mean? They fit in like everybody else fits in the hierarchy of the underworld. I'm talking about when they flooded that bitch, they also created millions of people who were duplicating that archetype right there because the flood of the supply, because supply is in that flood, the flood theory. If you flood something, then flood it and they will swim. You know what I mean? You create a stream and motherfuckers will fill that stream. They will swim down that stream. So the stream of not regular hand-to-hand drug dealing, not grandma's drug dealing. You know what I'm saying? A whole new age of drug dealing came in. And then to top it off, they had soundtracks in the form of movies. Scarface. Superfly did it for the OGs, the niggas who was the big homies, who was in the dope game, who was in the dog food, the horse. Shout out to A.A. Rashid. He has a monumental project on the way called Horse. All right. Matter of fact, tonight when we end the show, I'm gonna end it on a song that brothers on the internet. All right. So the OGs was the ones who got turned on by Superfly. But the generation that I'm talking about from the 80s, the drug kingpins, the big willies, the ones who set this shit off, catching, you know, the bodies and, you know, the murder gangs, all of the chaos, all of the disruptors, all of the sociopaths, all of the fucking lunatics, right? All of the offspring of the soldiers inside of the Vietnam War who were traumatized and came back with PTSD and came back as murderers and heartless killers who went there traumatized already from Jim Crow and God knows what kind of other fucking horror that the European was inflicting on our people, came back to America and had to face this whole new scourge of heroin and poverty and racism and crime, because the crime wave was swallowing niggas. The crime wave was real. You understand? And then they gave birth, right? They're off the seeds that they gave birth to was the niggas that was the we call the big homies, okay? The OGs, the triple OGs. That was they came from the loins of these heartless killers, these dope fiends. You understand? These soldiers who got their ass kicked in the jungles by the Nagas, my nigga. Cambodians and the Vietnamese telling the Bloods, telling the brothers, go home. This ain't your fucking battle, nigga. Mind your business. You know what I mean? Nigga, you on the wrong side anyway. We trying to keep the colonists from spreading what was known as westernized culture, what is seen around the world as a plague. There's an active pushback and there's an active resistance to what you know as westernized culture. They call it the Atlantean culture. Okay, it's a seafaring culture, the Atlantean culture, the same way that the British were seafarers and whatnot. People who pop up and on the sea and they attack and they try to take over these landlocked lands, like Mother Russia, which is landlocked. Okay, who identify with the land tribes, the ones who are immutable. These are mountainous tribes. These are tribes with vast lands, but they're not dealing with seafaring and things of that nature. They were locked in land-wise, the Caucasus Mountains, you know what I'm saying? The borders of India and all of that, Eurasia. So the conflict globally and the conflict right now and the conflict has always been, when you peel back in history, going all the way from Rome to Carthage, going all the way back from the Cold War with the USA versus the USSR. It's the Atlantean it's the Atlantean, nations, which are the nations that are basically they're moving around. They form nations, they build nations, they conquer nations. Then you may have other nations that do that as well, but they're basically land that they focus on building up land. They focus on hierarchy, kingdoms, and things of that nature. They focus on you know tribal and things of that nature. They're more traditional. These other people are not. They're more about postmodernism and things of that nature. They bring about these cultures. Westernized culture is resisted because it's Christian, it's homosexual. Okay, it's about the individual, it's not about the nation. It's about capitalism, it's about greed, it's about the lack of morals, it's about niggatry, it's about buffoonery. It's about coonery. And people fight against that, and they resist that from entering their countries or entering into the psyches of the collective mind state of the places where they're in power. And there's been many conflicts as a result of that. One of the most recent uh you want the 20 ebooks, go on my Instagram and send me your email. Oh no, go to Cash App, send me the Cash App with your email and you'll get the books. Okay, send me the Cash App to Phil Moreland, PhilMoreland. That is my government. Okay, Phil Moreland. Phil, like fill the bank up. Like you're feeling me. Phil Moreland. Philip, lover of horses. We're talking about that horse, right? Lover of horses. That's what Philip stands for. And I damn sure love those horses. Shout out to all of the horses out there. To this day. You know what I mean? I love me some polo. You feel me? I love me a Lambo. I love them goddamn Ferrari horses. The black stallions. I like horses from Dominican Republic, horses from Brazil, horses from Texas, horses from the Louis. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about? I like horses from the Bronx. All of that. You know? So Phil, and then more land. I mean, that one spells itself out. So, in my name is my purpose. There's no such thing as your government or your slave name. Don't say no dumb shit like that. You're negating who the fuck you are. Inside of your name is who you are. Break that shit down. Even if your shit is Barquisha, you know, Barquisha Muhammad X Bay. Break it down. You know, break that shit down. But young Jasmine, young sister at St. Petersburg McDonald's with them hands, with that good knuckle game. The we need to come and get you before the UFC grabs you up and hire you, young McDonald's worker with that good motherfucking Floyd Mayweather uppercut. She probably was just watching that nigga in Japan wash up the Japanese dude. Then the dude reached over the counter and she was hitting him with the 30 piece. That shit was on repeat. Bing, 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 bing. Wow. These niggas stood around and just watched. And they were probably gonna take out their phone and start world starring the shit, but they were too scared to do anything. They didn't come and finish him off with the secret sauce. You feel me? They could have ran around a counter and really made that shit a movie with the knockout blow, because he was in the wrong. He attacked the employee. It's hands off. You know what I mean? At that point, it's a wash, because I promise you, if that was a Tyrone on the other side, right? If Tyrone was on the other side and he was grabbing up Megan or Becky, and there was a whole bunch of other white dudes around, oh nah, they would have put his ass in the fries. They would have hit him with the hot grease. You know what I mean? They would have hit him with the shake machine that don't work. So, and he would have got 4 felonies. You understand? So salute to that sister. You understand? Salute to that sister. Salute to her spirit. Salute to what she represents. You understand? Don't ever apologize for putting them paws and putting them hands and defending yourself and not allowing nobody to cross your sacred space and try to motherfucking hem you up. I don't care if you at work. I don't care if it's the Pope. You know what I'm talking about? Like if the Pope come and order some fries and you didn't give him a straw and he reaches over on site, to this day, on site. You know what I mean? Like, don't let nobody touch you, and teach your children that. Don't be afraid to touch no Anglo-Saxon, no Neanderthal. This is not those days. You feel me? This is not the reboot, my nigga. If some white people touch you, nigga, you touch them back. I don't know where the fuck, I don't know what parallel universe you niggas got me trapped in, but goddamn it, when I was young, we didn't even have to talk. We didn't even have to explain that shit to each other. It was already known. Shit. We was enacting shit. We was just starting shit on our own. Like, we wasn't waiting for them to bother us. I don't know what happened. But whatever happened, niggas are terrified and petrified and fucking euthanized to ever have any smoke for Philip Drummond in them. They don't want no smoke at all. Like, I could just tell in niggas' algorithm that they're like 10 years away from even having that conversation. These young niggas, I'm not nitpicking. I'm not talking about the young generation more so. And these old niggas too. Like, don't get it twisted. Because a lot of the old dudes is beat down, Benson style. And it's no offense, but a lot of old people they conformed. They've been neutered in a sense. They defamed niggas a long time ago at that UPS job. They defamed a nigga a long time ago in the many ways that they defamed these tigers in the motherfucking killing fields. Probation, working corporate, working blue collar, working white collar. All of these places are designated you know what I mean, environments where they're not only utilizing your sweat equity, they're not only utilizing your physical prowess, you know what I mean? They're not only utilizing your blood, sweat, and your tears, but they're also conforming your mind into a place of groupthink because you're coming into their environment. Them niggas ain't coming into yours. You know what I mean? Even if you bring a nigga to the job, even if you bring the nigga spirit with you, you're conforming to that environment. You're conforming to corporate culture. Corporate culture is not conforming to you. You plug in and assimilate, and after a while, nigga, you corporate. You're corporate. You go into the industry, after a while, nigga, you industry. You was in the streets, but give it some time. Your industry, code switching. I'm glad you brought that up. Y'all go and research that term, code switching. That's an active term that niggas are using where they say they get around white people, they act gay, and then when they get around their own people, they act hetero. It's called code switching because they said around white people, acting gay is rewarded, and that's the way to get around. Super duper facts. That's what we dealing with right now. It's those niggas. They won't do nothing. It's them. They outed themselves. Yeah, yeah. They told on themselves. Code switchers. You feel me? And if you see it at your job, call it for what it is. Nigga, you code switching. It's sorry to bother you on a whole nother level. Gay for pay. Code switching. Being a motherfucking defeated, broken, non-threatening, non-dangerous, don't have no opinion about nothing, go along, yes man, fuck boy, moist nigga. That's the role that you want to play in life, nigga. But but then these niggas don't have no fucking pride because they seen their heroes in dresses and wigs and they motherfucking shuck and jive and dance and do all kind of strange things for a piece of change. So why the fuck wouldn't they? They had a basketball player dressed in a motherfucking grandma. For you niggas that want to beat up on Tyler Perry, nigga, Larry Johnson did that first. He traumatized us in a fucking dress, and then that shit devolved into Medea. So when they see that take place, and they're watching Maury, and they're watching motherfucking Steve Bilko, and they're watching Jerry Springer, and they're watching all of these programs, all of these shows that were scripted in order to take them further into a place of mental destitution, because the programs only just got upgraded. It started with the soap operas. Niggas had spells on niggas' mamas and all of that, granny and all of them, auntie and all of them, and then it went into daytime. All of these daytime kind of these syndicated shows like the Judge Judy's, but then it really went into the daytime fuck shows, Jerry Springer, Maury Povich, okay, all of that. Those were fake stories that were exaggerated. They were the modern day versions of a fucking minstrel show, a modern day version of black exploitation, a modern day version. Ricky Lake introduced niggas to all of that subservient shit. She introduced people into all of the training. A lot of that weird shit was coming from Ricky Lake, motherfucking Steve Bilko, and Jerry Springer. That is a fact. It did not emanate from any other show on regular TV at that time. Later on, you see it in reality TV. Later on, you see it explode. It started on motherfucking Jerry Springer, and especially Jerry Springer, Ricky Lake, and then Stephen Bilko and all of these other things. Keep in mind, this is daytime television. Who's at home in the daytime? Mama's at home in the daytime, but these children at home in the daytime, these youngins at home in the daytime. You understand? And then they're taking all of the stuff that they're seeing on that screen for law. Like, yo, that's real. Oh, a woman had 30 men run through her and she still didn't find a baby father. I'm not saying that when we were younger, that's not what was going on. But when they put it on that stage and they broadcasted it and syndicated it to millions of corners of the globe, because that shit was outside of America. You know what I mean? These small hats and these people who are real player haters, and you think they're here to help you, but they're really here to hurt you, and they spread all your dirt and all of your bad traits. They put billions behind that and push that around the world. But when you winning and the shit that you do that should be honorable and whatnot, oh nah, they're nowhere to be found. They're not gonna push that. They're not going to push that. So the soap operas had our parents' generation. Now reality shows replace the soap operas. The reality shows are the soap operas of today. Ratchet Monday, Ratchet Wednesday. Those are the soap operas of today. They're following Jocelyn, Stevie J, like they were following Tad and Susan Lucci. Facts from General Hospital, and all my children. Remember, everybody was sleeping with each other, right? Everybody was skeeting. You know what I'm talking about? Everyone was cheating. Everybody was low down and dirty. They threw hands, right? Niggas killed JR, right? Right? And there was all of these crazy ass plots. Is that not Ratchet Mondays? Is that not Loving Hip Hop Miami? Is that not the storylines that they've been stringing niggas along for a while long, where there's nothing ever happening? There's just fucking niggas having altercations. They're in the studio making nothing. The only thing that was squeezed out of that whole experiment was Bodak Yellow, my niggas. That's all you got from all of that shit was fucking Bodak Yellow, Cardi B. That's the only thing that was the poop. That was the diamond that came out of that whole reality show where they were promising you niggas artists that they were actually really pushing when they were pushing everything but art. They were pushing everything but art. Because if they were pushing art, the reality shows like a Love and Hip Hop, where they're trying to tell you, oh, we have artists and these people are credible. They're not even artists, and they have the minds of our daughters and our sons, our mamas, our baby mamas, our shorties, the thotties, the goddesses is even plugged in. You know what I mean? And they were reared on this. Then you have the whole Kardashian wave right there, which is the behemoth, the I'm talking about the galacticus size industry called the beauty industry. In the beauty industry, there's a segment in the beauty industry where Kardashians have carved a lane for being stars, for basically being nothing but what people deemed as beautiful. You understand? They had no recognizable skills whatsoever. That is on Pornhub, but they bodied what was known as the beauty industry. That's why the sister Kylie is neck and neck with the fucking with niggas go get Jay-Z. They're neck and neck money wise because all she's doing is selling lipstick. She did the whole body makeover. So anything that she sells, the the power of the spell that she's casting when she did what gypsies do. She did what? She transformed her physical appearance. That's what gypsies would do. Gypsies, they would have old haggards who would be rumored to be able to fool people like they was bad bitches. You understand? And line them up. This is the same thing that you're seeing with this family. Are they not all surgically enhanced? Look at what happened with Chloe. Where's Chloe? That's not Chloe. What? Give us Chloe back. Like she went from Sasquatch to Cinderella. You feel me? She's bagging basketball players. So there's all kind of shit going on over there. Even the pops got caught up under the knife and he got sliced up. And now he's telling niggas, and niggas are calling him Caitlyn. Shame on you, Negroes. Niggas is calling Bruce Jenner that you ate his Wheaties when you was a little snot nose. You calling that nigga Caitlyn. Who's crazy? You or him? Who's crazier? You or him? You're crazier than him. He's already certified cuckoo, nigga. You're crazier than him when you call him Caitlyn. It's not him, it's you. You're falling for the fucking madness. You're in the Kali Yuga. You're in the upside down world, nigga. You're in the motherfucking the neither. So smile for Instagram. This shit is upside down, but you got to be able to know what you're seeing, and you niggas are falling for it. That's the funny part. Everybody falling for the shit. So it's not that they're crazy. No, you're crazy for going along with. You're in Astroland. You're in Bizarro World. This is not. This shit is the Avengers Endgame. This is a quantum fucking existence. There's a whole nother existence that exists where, you know, wherever this reality is something completely different. Know that there's millions of fucking there's millions of versions of this right here. So this is just one of it. But this shit right here, nigga, this is Astro World, nigga. This is upside down. This is the upside down world. Nothing is what the fuck you think it is. It's all backwards. Okay? And I'm only here as the motherfucking mechanic to show you what's under the hood, while there's other people working on the car who could show you other things. It's an illusion. It's a matrix. And like I keep on saying, when you grow the testicular fortitude, and I'm talking shit, and I haven't done all of these flights either. I haven't gone to the dark side of the moon myself. But when you get the testicular fortitude and you reach that place in your awakening or your enlightenment or your elevation, when you level up, you're gonna say, yo, I'm ready to take that motherfucking leap and peek into the unknown, or stare into the triple darkness, or basically take a trip to the dark side of the moon. Bandersnatch. Right. Make the right choice, little niggas. Make the right choice. Bandersnatch. Right? I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to go ahead on a trip. And when I say trip, I'm talking about pharmacopoeia. When I say trip, I'm talking about being able to peel everything back. I'm talking about adjusting your defocalizing and readjusting the concept of reality as you see it. So yes, I'm speaking about different things that people tap in, and that would be identified as ayahuasca. That would be identified as DMT. That would be identified as magic mushrooms. And I would in the whole scheme of things, for the people who don't want to go all the way there, because like I said, I'm not necessarily telling you what to do. Let's not yeah, for purposes of psilocybins, yeah, psilocybins, for the purpose, for the, yeah. I don't want nobody to say I'm out here selling barbiturates and because that's not what I'm doing. But what I'm saying is, it's been said on the quest that people tap into these things, and what they come back and what they're able to see, or what they're able to witness, or what they're able to experience, or what they're able to feel, or what they're able to download, or what they're able to kill, or what they're able to sacrifice, right? Has made them more pleased in the mission that they had to know themselves. Because I make sure to ask everybody, do you know yourself more now? And everybody says yes. So that's, you might have a bumpy trip. Nigga, every time I fly on a plane, we go through a sour patch these days. It's happened about 10 times where I got to go through a few minutes of, you know what I'm saying Hail Mary or some shit. You know what I mean? Talking to my ancestors real intense. To this day, I need this plane to land. To this day. So we all go through bumpy rides. So if people face their demons when they decide to open up, nigga, that's what life is about. You know what I'm saying? I hope you're properly prepared to face your demons. And I hope you're able to slay your demons and move forward and get to where it is that you need to go, because you're not going to get there until you pass the troll at the toll. You know what I'm talking about? Until you pass the troll at the toll. They say that you can't get across the bridge. And you're going to realize that the monster that you're scared of and that enemy that you said that you had is always you at the same time. At the whole time, it was you. The whole time, it was you. So that will be revealed to you only when you're ready. I'm not a tour guide that is necessarily qualified that trip, but I promise you, if you seek, you shall find. If you seek, you shall find. You understand? Go into the archive of Know the Ledge and prepare yourself, enlighten yourself. You know what I'm saying? Download the wisdom, the plethora of wisdom that's shared in that archive of 700 radio shows. We have 700 podcasts for you to indulge in. They will open up your mind and will help you climb that ladder and on that journey of what is known as self-discovery. It's bars everywhere. Nigga, it's Barbados. It's Kwanzaa crawl. It's a bar hopping experience, nigga. Bars everywhere. You know what I mean? Kwanzaa crawl. Go and get the archive. But you don't gotta worry about that. We'll bring the archive to you. Just be patient. We got the archive coming to you, but you know, um, it's out there. It's on Google. Go and put Know the Ledge Radio in the search engine, and it will oblige your quest. It will oblige your search request. You feel me? Google will be your friend. You know, Google will be your friend. Everybody is talking about Bandersnatch on Netflix. Bandersnatch on Netflix is it's a series out of the Black Mirror series, the first entry of their new season. It is an interactive movie, meaning that it's one of the first of its kind, okay? To whereas the viewer is able to make decisions while watching the movie that will make the movie play out a certain way based off of the decisions that you make. I watched Bandersnatch. I was participating in it. It was very late at night. I was laying down because I just got finished. I think it was right after I watched Bird Box. I was tired, so I was like, I kept fucking up, and shit kept rewinding. Like, because the way it goes, if you make the wrong move, the movie will end shortly, and then they'll have like a rewind the tape effect, and then you go back to a certain point where you get to try it all over again. So the movie is kind of interesting. Like I said, I didn't finish watching the whole movie. Definitely the new technology that Netflix is introducing is very interesting. The movie is a reflection or a great analogy to what I've been saying on Melanin Mondays and Third Eye Thursdays, when I've been saying that life is about decisions. Life is about choices. I didn't have to like this joint, but I did. Why? Because I made the decision. That decision might cost me a motherfucking a deal, a lecture at a nursery at a daycare center. They might have wanted Book Red Pill to speak at the nursery home or the daycare center, and because I lit up, then that reality is not going to come about anymore because the whole room of nurses just got turned off, right? So that affects my movie, right? The choices that I make have an effect on the way that this movie is going to play out. You know what I'm saying? Because my phone could have rang tomorrow and it was a nursery or a daycare center saying, Red Pill, we want to bring you to the daycare center, to talk to the kids about not doing drugs. And I just blew my chance. So that movie if really watched, you know, for the concept that's being shown, and if the future of cinema is gonna be that, that's gonna be interesting. That will be one of the death blows to Hollywood. Is designed to challenge and disrupt the industry of Hollywood, which is very weak right now, because the interactive movie is really effective when it's on the streaming platforms versus you be at the movie theater. How you gonna be at the movie theater and pick anything when it's all y'all in the movie theaters, right? So this interactive choose your own adventure idea and concept for Afrofuturists, right? Afrofuturists. This nigga Blue Pill tried to call me Tego Calderon. I said, please, young man, correct yourself. I'm Fuego Calderon. Okay. Fuego Calderon, all right? Afrofuturist. That's who I be. I'm an Afrofuturist. So to Afrofuturists such as myself, well, goddamn it, that's another gift from the Most High, from the pimp god Shara. He keeps raining on us. You know what I mean? All of these gifts in the App Store for nerds such as myself, or blurs rather. You know, that's a layup. An interactive movie. Oh, I'm ready to cook. It's a lot of things that you can do with that. You could make a movie where slavery never happened based off of the choices that you make from the beginning of that motherfucking adventure. How about that? You could make a movie where Martin Luther King and Malcolm X never met their demise. It's quantum. That's called quantum. For niggas that talk about quantum this and quantum that, nigga, go on listen to my lecture, Quantum Supremacy. Nigga, that's quantum. Multiple realities, multiple things, and don't let. And when the quantum internet hits, it's gonna explode everything. But you know, we'll get to that 1 minute. That's quantum. They're giving you quantum on Netflix at the same time when they had the Avengers on that shit. You know what I mean? And never mind. But yeah, that's the multiverse. I heard that the Spider-Man cartoon is dealing with the multiverse and the quantum. And then these niggas at Marvel is like, oh, we don't know if Avengers 4 is gonna talk about the quantum, because how are all of the characters that died gonna come back if it's not gonna go, nigga, it's gonna go into the quantum. It's gonna go into multiple. It's the shit that Doctor Strange did in the Doctor Strange movie where he got killed 1 million times until that nigga got in that one time and caught that body. That's how that works. So it's quantum. Yeah, with Ant-Man and all of that. They're going to deal with Ant-Man. You know? But the Netflix Black Mirror movie Bandersnatch is a quantum streaming, right? Quantum entangled. It's a quantum experiment because there are people who've seen many different versions of it based off of their interaction with that movie, because it has multiple. The shit goes on for 5 hours. They said it has multiple endings and multiple turns. Adjustment bureau type of team, right? So that's quantum. We can tap into that power. We could tap into that energy, and we can avoid the victimhood that we somehow collectively find ourselves still suffering from. And I'm even throwing myself in there, kind of, sort of. You know what I mean? The PTSD, and you know, being falling under you know, the depression sometimes of the low frequencies that our people emit, and being, you know, DNA response to environment. I'm in the trenches, nigga. I'm magnetically attracted to the trenches. Okay? This is a vegan cookie. I don't want you niggas to judge me and start acting all crazy. This is vegan chocolate at Jalakova, the juice bar. Yeah, no sticker. But Our people suffer for that shit. I don't got to get all descriptive. You know what the fuck I'm talking about. Our people are still hurt from that shit. So we've been programmed with a false reality and a false narrative and a perspective from the people who killed or won the war against our ancestors. They the niggas that taught us the story. They the motherfuckers who gave us the perspective to look at this whole shit at. And we're coming here and we're giving you we're giving you a counter narrative that's giving you the totality of the whole picture. So you could really see what the fuck is going on. They gave you history starting from slavery. We came, boom, and gave you history that goes all the way before that. We even gave you history to show you them in chains. How about that? Then we gave you history to show you us in castles and kingdoms and palaces and civilizations. Fuck a palace, nigga. The whole land, the estate. To this day, to the whole continents, monolithic structures that stretched, civilizations that went around 7 seas, empires. You want to talk about gold? I'm talking about empires of gold. You want to talk about a fucking icy chain, nigga? I'm talking about an icy ocean. To this day. You niggas want to talk about Airbnb and your little cribs. I'm talking about castles that was connected, Alhambra, networks, Cordova, Timbuktu. I'm talking about megalithic structures, Ethiopia. You niggas is thinking Airbnb and struggling to scrape that shit together. Like, no, I'm speaking abundance. I'm talking about the totality of the whole picture. They gave you one chapter of the book. They started niggas on chapter 13. It's not fair. That's where they start you out in life at chapter 13. And you had all of this shit before that, right? You had all of this existence. You had all of this DNA that they're telling you, bro, that DNA is in you, my nigga. Because the DNA in the average nigga is like 300 generations in. So anything that they're talking about, because these are traditionalists, these people who are the quote unquote, the ones who are running this shit, the westernized Anglo-Saxon Protestant, that whole mentality, westernized man, these people operate in a way where they're traditionalists. They're keeping shit the way that they keeping their order, they're keeping their hierarchy, they're keeping their traditions. They're like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They're not about changing anything. They're not about giving up or conforming to nothing. They're traditionalists. They stand on their traditions. They stand on their rituals. They stand on their motherfucking modus operandi, and it ain't to make you their best friend. It's their tradition. There's nothing that you can say. Dr. Francis Cress Wilson, the ancestor, the icon whose birthday just passed, we're gonna have to make that a holy day, along with the independence of Haiti. Don't just make that a meme. Turn that meme into meme magic and make that a parade day. Why can't that be a carnival day? Why can't that be a global day of melanated people, collectively coming together and doing something to honor those magical people on that magical island? But Dr. Francis Cress Wilson, you understand? She gave you the skinny on the whole situation from a biological point where it's hands off. Red pill, don't get mad at me. It's nothing that I can do for you. Young black man out there who wants to have mad white friends. I'm not telling you what to do with yourself. I'm not telling anybody what to do with themselves. I'm saying the same way that Dr. Francis Cress Wilson said to you, that biologically, genetically, there's a conversation that must be had before we go forward. And if you don't have that conversation, and if we're not willing to have that conversation, then we're still in limbo in terms of any kind of reality that our people want to live in. You cannot live in a quantum reality that you niggas keep talking about that you want to create. Keeps ending. Nigga, your motherfucking the player keeps dying. Niggas with L's and whatnot. You got to see a little Street Fighter with the girl in McDonald's and whatnot. Finish him. Everybody gets happy for that when you get a finish him. When they finish somebody, finish him. Hi Yogan, hi Yogan, Yogan. She was hitting that nigga. Somebody needs to go and remix that. Yogan. She was giving him that work to this day. She was doing what I thought Dante Wilder was gonna wild out and do. And yeah, Street Fight 2, the McDonald's version. Fight. So, you know, we get a little bit of W's like that. World Star will put up some fatalities. But other than that, it's been a lot of wrong turns being made and a lot of bad choices. You know, a lot of bad choices. So life is about the choices that you make. We can't blame it or call it what it is if we're not making the proper choices, if we're not carrying out, if we're not utilizing and moving in a certain way to, you know what I mean, to whereas we are actively moving forward and making the right choices. Because that means everything, you know? So we need clarity. We need more wisdom. We need to remove ourselves from a lot of distractions, which I'm going, like I said, that's that operation. I've been so busy with my business that I haven't been in the quote unquote matrix, and it feels so good. It's liberating. It's liberating to actually be busy damn near every day because you know these clothes is this shit is when I say it's moving like it's flying. You know what I mean? You know, and that's a good thing because I'm growing through the process. You know, I want to wake up and go to factories. I want to get up and I want to get up in the morning to plug in and go into manufacturing. I'm looking at Amazon. I'm like, I want to be Amazon right now. I want to wake up and go to factories where there's hundreds of machines working. Right now, I'm just in a place where I'm visualizing it and I'm building it up and I'm seeing myself there. I'm putting myself in those humongous factories with hundreds and hundreds of thousands of machines. And it's all in production and it's all in manufacturing because that's the building blocks to power. That's the building blocks to like that my mind is there. My mind is there. Like so I would never entertain anything that's not be going the kind of shit that my mind is on right now, you know, I you know, it's crazy. It's crazy. Of course our folks working. Of course our folks working. Like I said, commitment. You wear underwears every day. You wear socks every day. You wear t-shirts. You wear tidy whities and wife beaters every day, right? Everybody could agree collectively and say, "Yo, I'm gonna go to this Amazon-like site and I'm gonna only buy underwear and socks and t-shirts and tidy whities instead of from the Arab, instead of from the gas station, instead of from Ross, instead of from Kmart and Walmart and Target. I'm gonna just go right here because they got that Egyptian cotton. Niggas got the plug in India or one of these places, or they got the plug in Ghana, or they got the plug in Ethiopia, and there's a cotton that they got that makes everything feel better. And these are melanated, Aboriginal, conscious, black owned, you know, businesses. and everybody collectively comes together, and you own a part of that company because there's shares and things of that nature available. There's equity available in these companies, and everybody has a vested interest in it. So now you're buying stuff just to know that you're making a profit off of you buying stuff that you always going to need all of the time, because that's a necessity. This is economic freedom. This is how you remove yourself from being an economic and a consumer slave. Niggas talking about free themselves from bondage behind bars and whatnot, free the homie. I'm talking about free Rollo and whatnot. But the economic slavery is even worse because people don't have bars. They're not confined to bars. You understand? They're confined to debt, and they're confined to not being able to have the tools that they need to make their quote unquote money work for them in the realm of power acquisition, in the realm of completely assets and being an asset to society, utilizing your resources or utilizing your funds or utilizing whatever that you have to disrupt, to create, to innovate, to build, to bring into fruition all of these ideas that are out here. We have collectively, like, we have the numbers to do anything that we want to do. We have the numbers. We have the numbers. Collectively, we have the numbers to do anything that we want to do if we just agree to it and do it. There's nothing to it but to do it. I'm simplifying the process because it is that simple. But now we know that it's not that simple. It's 100 obstacles in the way of something simple. So we got to deal with that as well. We have to problem solve, and we got to knock the obstacles down when they pop up and keep it moving and keep fucking cutting down all of this rubbish and all of this stuff and clear the path, because we know that there's others that are going to come behind us to really do what needs to be done. So I'm linking up with Levi Black, right? Matter of fact, let me show you this right now, just so you know. This is We Buy Black. I'm on a site. I'm a vendor. Okay. I'm a vendor. I'm building up my store right now with them. So, We Buy Black is somewhere that the family definitely needs to support. All right. There goes one of my pages right there, putting jewelry up there. I'm also going to have the Garvey collection up there. I'm also going to have many different items from, different merchants that are part of the network inside of the store on We Buy Black, which is the Mark 125th. The name of the store that we got in there is the Mark 125th. The Mark125th.com. That is also our store that we are launching in the first quarter of 2019. That's a marketplace as well. Okay. And that store is going to be open for affiliates, and it's also going to be open to creators, and it's also going to be open to small businesses and brands and people who have products who want to sell on the mart as well. So, it's a lot of good news out here. You're not just sitting back, you know, playing victim, acting goofy. You know what I'm talking about? Acting like a weirdo, you know, being a hater. Somebody said in the post today, hate is the new AIDS. Hate is the new AIDS. Peace is the new success. Peace of mind is the new success. Hate is the new AIDS. So if a nigga out there hating me, he gotta go to bed with that. It don't never, if a nigga hate me, he gonna go pillow talk with his ratchet about me. You know what I'm talking about? And he going to bed with me on his mind. And then his little skeezy, she going to bed with me on her mind too. So what the fuck does hating a person, how does that hurt that person? I don't understand. So hate is the new AIDS. You know what I mean? Like niggas is sick. These niggas is in sicko mode on some coon shit like Travis Scott playing the Super Bowl, saying some shit bad, saying some derogatory shit about Mike Brown. I really wasn't feeling him. His whole energy was off in the interview. He was real. I don't know. If anybody saw the interview, you know what I'm talking about. He was talking down against Mike Brown, bro. And that's not what's up. That's not what's up. You know, and I haven't heard him or many other Houston artists for that matter go online with some smoke. Like it's only a 1 minute upload. You put everybody got an iPhone. Any one of these dudes could just press play on their iPhone and say something in the phone like, yo, make sure y'all catch that red truck that went out there and killed young Jasmine at Walmart in front of her mommy, because we know at the end of the day, you know what I mean, mob ties don't allow that. We know we don't get down like that. We don't, you know what I mean? So anybody could easily do that. Nobody did that, to my knowledge, that I know. And if it ain't on a nigga network, Vlad and World Star, it didn't happen. How about that? In the nigga world, if it ain't on a nigga network, nigga, it really didn't really happen. How about that? If it ain't on Vlad and World Star, nigga, did it even happen? Like, really? You got to show me the receipts. So I didn't see it on there. I didn't see nobody's Instagram rant. She been dead a long time, bro. This shit happened before the ball dropped. You know what I mean? Nobody said nothing. What kind of message is that sending to the people who are watching this episode of Fortnite? Because they watch it the same way that when Ninja and all of these online kids are online, there are millions of people on the stream, right? The stream got millions of people when some of these very popular video gamers go on a website called Twitch, or when they live stream and they're playing tournaments against each other. Remember, in 2018, a young melanated young man got murked by a race soldier at one of the tournaments, blew his brains out, right? At a whatchamacallit, at a Madden tournament, bodied him right there, live in front of everybody, triggering, right? And if there's anybody out there that work at the iPhone store, or y'all got the hookup on a Samsung, the top shit, please hit the brother up. Like, hit me in the comments or something. Let me know so I can holler at you. You feel me? Because we got to take this mobile thing into a different. My smartphone is not smart anymore. You know what I'm talking about? My smartphone is not smart anymore. That shit is having learning problems. You know, it's time to leave them alone. You know? So you said hit me up. How am I hit you up? I don't even know I don't know what you up with. What do you mean? Somebody said hit me up in the chat room. Hit you up where? I don't even know who you. The way this is not like Instagram. The way that this YouTube shit is set up, y'all niggas don't have profiles and pages like that. So you could click on a person's name and it's a food desert. It's like an empty page and shit. You know what I'm saying? Zero activity, but you're on the stream with hundreds of people at the right time. To this day, you know, you niggas need to build your pages up, bro. Hit some chronic. What the fuck you think this is, nigga? Bandersnatch? You niggas is trying to program and tell me what to do and when to smoke, nigga. This is not Netflix. This ain't Bandersnatch, homie. To this day, I'm gonna smoke when I want to smoke. You know, niggas think this is Niggas think this is Bandersnatch. Like this is not that. That's not. You see what this shit is gonna do though. You see the remnants of what that shit is. We're in the early stages of it. Mark my word. To this day, that I said that shit. Going a year from now, niggas is gonna be on some programmable interactive shit. Facts. Because once the Oculus Rift gets involved, it's over. And I'm giving up all of these trade stock secrets. The SEC could come and get the guard. I be throwing too many gems out there. These pearls that I'm pitching is grandma's pearls. You understand? I'm pitching a lot of pearls. Like niggas is getting stock tips right now. The niggas is getting stock tips. The shit should be, my phone should be sounding like Bitcoins. I don't hear no coins. I should hear Bitcoins falling. Can I hear the market falling? You know? Let me hear the Bitcoins falling. Shit. But when Oculus Rift, which is the virtual reality, when they get involved with Netflix, number one, when that happens, because they're already involved with Facebook. Picture you could put on a goggle and I could see you bright the same way that you could see me right now. I could put on the Oculus Rift and be, if there's 500 of us, I could be in a room where all 500 of us are interacting with each other in real time. And we could touch, we could feel each other, we could see each other clearer than how you can see me right now. Because this is a bullshit camera. Facts. This camera is like, this shit is downstairs. So we could see each other 20 times better than how I'm being transmitted in my light spectrums right now. Because truth be told, I'm supposed to be in 4D. I'm really playing games with myself right now. I'm supposed to be in 4D. That was a promise that I made to myself, and I haven't kept that shit. You know what I mean? I mysteriously misplaced 80 or 720. It's supposed to be on 4K. But that's a whole nother story. But in the Oculus Rift, you're gonna see motherfuckers in 4K. The women who use thirst traps, the thirst traps from the gram, you're gonna be able to be in the trap with them. Real life. I'm talking about what's up, Malaya? What's up, Malaya? I know, yeah, salute. What's happening? You know, you'll be able to pull up on her and be right there. VR porn is already huge. Somebody mentioned VR porn. I'm not putting her name in VR porn, but yeah, VR porn is already on the rise. I'm just giving you a glimpse into the world that you live in right now. I deal with the now. They say the power is in the now. I don't play with shit I don't try to take you all the way back. And you know, I go back and forth, but I always bring it back home. That's the shit that's going on right now. It's already going on right now. It's just not mainstream. Like you're not being programmed with it right now. But the early testers and the first generation and the second generation is already here. It's already in effect. You know what I mean? Don't take my word for it. Once again, do your diligent research. Just because it's not on your fucking timeline, and just because it's not being talked about on the other bullshit shows that are, let me not say that, but the other shit that's out there doesn't mean that it's not happening. You know, it don't mean that it's not happening. It's just that you're not in the real conversation. That's just showing you that you're not really in the real fucking conversation. How does that feel? To realize, God damn it, I was part of the 80 I was part of the noise. I was part of the noise because there's a whole nother conversation taking place where people are talking about some whole nother shit, some old other shit. You know what I mean? Some old next shit. Not this shit right here. Some whole next shit. So we just gotta focus more on having that other conversation. Let's start talking about this technology. Let's just rename it. Let's just start talking about these possibilities and these opportunities and these actualized um, algorithms, these actualized algorithms, meaning that there were a bevy of codes, or there was a language that was spoken, code was written, programming took place in the form of an algorithm was created. That algorithm is a problem solver. That algorithm created either an app, or it created either a program, or it created something that people have been able to benefit off of disruption, right? Like the disruptor that Google is, because it disrupted the world. The disruptor that YouTube disrupted the world. People talk about Netflix and all of that. Nigga, the streaming service of YouTube is the disruptor. That's the original disruptor, right? YouTube is a disruptor. Email is a disruptor to the post office. These are all ideas that were written in code and then came in the form of an algorithm, and boom, there it is. That's what this shit is right here. This shit right here. That's this shit right here. That's consciousness right here. That's the shit that we've been talking about. That's the shit that the master teachers been talking about. That's the shit that Garvey and Drew Ali been talking about. That's the shit that Noble Drew Ali and Elijah Muhammad was talking about. You understand? You understand? That's the shit that the Moors was talking about. That's the shit that Dessalines and them was talking about. You know, it just goes on forever. So we're just carrying on tradition. We're traditionalists. Yeah, early adoption has started. They start adopting that shit. It's early adoption. You know what I mean? Breaking news. It's nothing to be alarmed about. It's nothing to be in fear about. It's nothing to feel left behind about, because I promise you, people who look just like you are right in the motherfucking mix making things happen. I posted a few people from Africa on my Instagram already to show the people, to show the 37,000 people that are following me that these people exist. They're not showing you that on BT and other places, but this is Instagram. This is one of the best marketing tools created in this modern day time that you could utilize for multiple purposes. If you playing with it and if you wasting your time and you're acting like a teenager on it, you know that shit is on you. Bandersnatch, you know what I mean? Bird box, self-inflicted homicide, self-inflicted suicide. You kill yourself. If you want to lay around and kill yourself all day, nigga, go ahead and do it. You know, go ahead and do it. I'm talking to people who are mature enough to make the right decisions at the right time, because you know they got their mind right. You understand? To this day, you know what I mean? I don't got no other time. I really don't have no time, no energy, and no desire to entertain anything other than that. Let's be clear. You feel me? And I decide my motherfucking fate. Bandersnatch. So I'm gonna make the right decisions and the right choices. I promise. To this day. And I've been moving through this matrix. I've been moving through this motherfucking Zelda maze. I've been moving through this this trap, this motherfucking the minefields of consciousness since I got here, and I'm here to this day, nigga, and I'm here, and you're not. Not you, but you. So obviously I know what the fuck I'm doing, and I know how to move, and I know where to move and when to move. And I'm not the only one. I don't move by myself. I move with millions. I move with millions. You'll never see them though. But I move with millions. And we moving through this maze, nigga. It's a race. It's a race. This whole shit is a race to the finish. Make no mistake about it. It ain't how you start it, though. It's how you finish it. You got to finish it. It ain't how you start it, my nigga. It's how you finish it. You know how many people that started the race with me ain't running no more? Nigga, got no legs. You know how many people dropped out the race? You know how many people got trampled and stampeded in the race? You know how many niggas on the sideline giving water out in the race? Ain't too many people got Kenyan in their blood, bro. Ain't too many people got Kenyan in their blood. This is a race to this day. Nigga, fuck you think? And this race that we belong to an inner race against other races, if you don't understand that part, then you're going to lose the race that these races are having, because niggas are trying their best to win the race. They want to get the medal. They on the dark side of the moon, nigga. Niggas is racing. And it's beyond that. It goes beyond that. It goes beyond the fear of a black planet. It goes beyond the races, because that's a solution. That's not really real. It's bigger than that. You get stuck in race, you don't even understand what a sentient light being is. You don't understand what spirit is. You don't understand what mind is. The mind. The mind. You have no idea. We got a lot of building to do. We got a lot of building to do. And we building right now. This is the now. We're not waiting for nothing, nigga. It's happening right now. You understand? This shit is opening up right now. Play your position and just, make it happen. But you are disrupting the parallel universes. You are disrupting the fabrics of the illusion by waking up, by just waking up and saying something and being something and having a purpose and actively pursuing it. It's shaking the motherfucking pillars of the matrix. You don't see that? I got to point that out for you. I could, if you go ahead and research, like I said, it's 650 videos that I just pulled off of the internet, and it's more shit I gotta go back in. But it's a lot of work out there. Go and listen to any one of it. It don't matter when I did it, because the information is timeless. Because I got it from people who gave me timeless information. My master teacher, Dr. Sabi, okay, Dr. Phil Valentine, Bobby Hemmett, Dr. Blair, Francis Cress-Welsing. It's so many names that I can name, and the information that they have. We used to ride around listening to Farrakhan doing dirt. Facts. That's a factory. Going on the motherfucking on the way to the bag, listening to Farrakhan and it's blasting on 10. Shout out to Will I Am and the Infinity Q45 Gold in the hood. You know what I mean? And we were being indoctrinated in it. That was my woke phase. That was early 90s. So if I was woke in the 90s, yeah, you niggas got a long way to go before you achieve this levels of consciousness that you attribute to be at, where you're fully enlightened, where your third eye is, your pineal is activated, nigga, and you got that glow. Okay? Uh Fuego Calderon, nigga. Talk to me. Fuego Calderon. You know, had that glow in the winter. Health is wealth. You know what I mean? Health is wealth. You know what I'm saying? Health is what knowledge of self, but health is wealth. So my thing is I'm living a healthy lifestyle because I understand that even though I live in so many unhealthy conditions, the world around me, all kind of things, I'm in unhealthy environments, you know, I'm maintaining my temple, I'm maintaining my circle, I'm maintaining all of this, all the whole existence, and I'm, you know what I'm saying? And I practice healthy thinking, and I practice healthy eating, healthy lifestyle. And I'm still striving. Make no mistake about it. I'll never get up here and profess to be Mr. Healthy because that's not him. You know what I mean? But the more that I build, the more that I drop these gems, the more that I share this light, the more that I get this information out, that's a form of health. And health is wealth. You know, I come from a family of health practitioners. My mother is a living legend. She's in a pill. I got mountains that I'm looking at so I could carve her face on those mountains. She's an icon. The work that she did with Dr. Sebi and the work that she did when she created Red and Blue Pill and KT the Arts Degree and Tanisha and Nakiba. You feel me? Like she's a legend in her own right. Queen of Four. Like there's so many different people that you know. I'm elated to be a part of, to know, to be in their presence. Icons live forever. You don't ever have to worry about anybody, and nobody could do anything to an icon. Nobody can besmirch an icon. They only besmirch themselves. That's almost like trying to piss on a statue. You do nothing to it. Icons are icons. So there's a lot of icons living, and we also have a lot of icons who are ancestors. And these people are immortals. Immortals. Mama Pill doesn't have a platform, but Mama Pill is planning on doing some daily video blogs in the very near future. Blue Pill is in Atlanta with Mama Pill, and they're working on a lot of things. She had a lot of things going on ever since Dr. Sebi made transition. So she wasn't in the public eye. She was dealing with a whole lot of stuff. So she'll be back in the public eye to do the work very, very soon. And I would definitely ask when she does come back that the sisters and the brothers and the family out there definitely give her your support. You know what I mean? And just receive that information that she has, because like I said, the power of the elders and the power of the ones who came before us is that they've experienced things that we have never experienced. So we have to be able to humble ourselves, because I promise you, in those experiences, there are certain jewels that you can extract that you might not be able to extract from these days, because the times have changed. And wisdom from those days and information about how things were, especially for those of us who are trying to restore things or to change things and make them in a more better a better perspective. You got to get the testimony of people who lived on this planet when shit was better. Hmm. There's some people I'm aware that were born on a planet, and when you opened your eyes, right, Justin Timberlake was rubbing on Janet's titty, or you were born into this world and the drug wars and the gang wars and everything had the war on drugs, right? Keep in mind, like I said, the lecture that we're doing in Brooklyn is called The Three-Headed Monster and the Blood Moonologues. The day right before the blood moon, the first major blood moon in 2019, which is January 21st. We'll be in Brooklyn doing a 2-day lecture, red pill and blue pill, and we're also going to be live streaming it for everybody that's out there right now listening to me and watching this. The thousands of you who watch this, we're going to be able to let you watch it on your phone or your laptop, your desktop, or your TV the both of the days at Nicholas. So go to Eventbrite and put in Twin Pillars. All right. But we're going to be unpacking all of this information that I'm talking about. The war on drugs, the war on poverty, the war on terror, and explain what that really means. Okay? What that really entails, and show you all of the receipts that you need to see so you can have a full understanding about what the hell has taken place and what is going to take place in the very, and what is taking place as we speak, you know? And this is to prepare you for the ritual on the blood moon, which is the 21st, that we highly encourage everybody to tap into. I don't care what you do. You might record a song that day. You might have your own lecture that day. I don't know what people choose to do, but there's ways to ritualize these constellations, these alignments, these openings. That's January 21st. Okay? That's January 21st. You're going to be performing a fire ritual. That's fire then. That's fire. And I don't got to tell you, in the bedroom, if you really put your visualization to work, meaning that the manifestation utilizing sexual energy, it's going to be very powerful that day. So for anybody that's going in on the day of that moon, that blood moon, you know, do it with a purpose. Do it with a purpose. Shit. Put in that twerk. They should have like vision board headboards, right? They should have like vision board headboards. So when you're going in, the vision board is the headboard. You know what I'm saying? You might be able to smoke a fat spliff and just look at the vision board while other things are popping off, you know. But that's how that's a version, that's visualization, that's creation. You know what I mean? That's really fucking programming and tapping in. Low key, you know, low key. Oh yeah, and it's MLK Day. At least, yeah, let's not forget that's all. The 21st is also MLK Day. So we're giving you a weekend lecture, work off on Monday. A boss man don't need to know that you was listening to the pills. You got Monday off. So when you go in on Tuesday, you don't got to tell everybody in the water cooler the shit that we talked about, but it's on MLK Day. And we're gonna the app is KTL Media, ktlmedia.com. We're going to but you could live stream it. Go to Eventbrite and get the live stream. The live stream is going to be very clear. It's not going to be buffering. It's going to be very professional. So I want y'all around the world to be able to have access to the live stream. And we may have a special guest. Who knows? I'm not going to deny but it's going to be a dope event. First time me and Blue really did something together in New York City in a very, very long time. And when I think about that shit, it saddens me. I'm like, damn, niggas ain't get booked in New York in like 2 years. I guess we're not that hot. You know what I mean? Who knows? But this is going to be good. A great way to start the year off, you know, and some great information that the students that are out there receiving all of this information have been benefiting, and doing further research and whatnot, once again, you're gonna be in for a treat. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be in for a treat. You know, so pull up, especially everybody that be stopping me in the streets, always asking me, "Yo, when the next event?" I just want you to let me know when y'all doing something, King. Like, pull up, man. Like, I need to see y'all live. Well, here it goes. 2 days, $44 for 2 days. So I would rather, I want y'all to come and build with us for 2 days. The information, the way that we're putting it together, we're fusing our information. So Blue will go I'll go, Blue will go. We're going back and forth. Jaden Styles, the fusion of the information. You don't got to sit there and wait for Blue to come on. We're just gonna give it to you the way that we put it together. But we're gonna dive very deep. Our research is very thorough. If I could just talk to you right now off the top of my head, and I'm not even in front of my notes, like the research is thorough. I don't, and Blue is a beast. Like, I mean, it's been a while since Mr. 44 hit the scene with that cloth. You know what I'm saying? All of his predictions have come true. So he's gonna wild out on both days. You know what I mean? The Blood Moonologues. He already did a series called the Blood Moonologues. If you're not familiar with his work, and that was prophetic in it of itself. The shit was fire. I think it was 6 hours or something. So doing it, we'll give you more information on that coming up to its date, but that's January 19th and the 20th. Come to Brooklyn, come to Bed-Stuy, come to Nicholas Bookstore. Nicholas could hold like 100 something people. Mostly this lecture, I'm focusing on the global audience and the audience around the 50 states. That's why we put a lot of money behind the live stream. We invested a lot of resources to make sure that the stream is going to be seen via the internet and via people's devices and whatnot. So this is for the family and the world. Brooklyn is the headquarters. Brooklyn is the grid that I'll be standing on. Brooklyn is homeland. BK, Kings County, Bed-Stuy to be exact. I used to be right around the corner on. Shout out to all of the family on Halsey, everybody out there in NA, Notion Ave, Tahoe, everybody. Salute. So we're just reporting from the headquarters, you know what I mean? From home base, you know. But it's a global message. This is not just for Brooklyn. This is for the world. The world needs to hear this information. This is global cloth. So make sure y'all pull up. The flyers on my Eventbrite. I mean the flyers on the Instagram page, and the Eventbrite is Twin Pillars. All right, it's Twin Pillars. Yeah, y'all all right? Yeah, I'm glad you was able to join the live as well. Oh yeah, and that Cash App is money sign Phil Moreland. If y'all want to leave a tip for this meal that y'all got tonight, you know what I'm talking about? Don't run out the motherfucking back door. You know, like I said, Bitcoins. You know what I mean? Bitcoin's falling. Um, I'm gonna have to show y'all some clothes in a minute. It's obligatory. I'm doing my commercial. My life is about to change for the better in a few days. I'm just putting everybody on alert. My life is about to change for the better, and it's about to shift in ways that people's life shift in books when chapters end and new chapters begin, and it involves, uh, you know, it's family orientated, and it's a good thing. I don't want to scare anybody and whatnot. But it's a very good thing. So I'm definitely in a very happy mode. This is something that means a lot to me. It's something that I've wanted for a very long time. So, you know, I'll be able to share the good news with you by next week. Um, you know, but yeah. So yeah, I don't know. Is that it? We 2 hours and 17 minutes. I know we've been chopping it up for a minute. You know, I'm sure it's a lot of other shit going on. Like I said, I know that Jay Morrison is looking for the young lady from McDonald's. I believe her name was Queen Shay or Queen something. Her first name is out there. Jasmine, Queen Jazz. I don't know what her, I know she got them hands. You know what I'm talking about? She got them hands of free. She got them healing hands, the magic hands. Did y'all see that poster that they got where there's a young black girl and she's in love with a Nazi? And I think it's called The Hands. And it's a young sister who people are familiar with. I don't know her name, but she be in like a lot of black TV shows. It's atrocious. It's atrocious. Now they have melanated women being in love with Nazis during Nazi Germany and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Little bad black Germans or something. So that's crazy. Be on the lookout for that stupid shit. Oh, somebody said Sekhmet. Hey, look how we ended the year. Look at how the ancestors are speaking to us. Bird box, right? Talk to me. Talk to me nice. And in the same place where the flood took place, right? Harvey. Okay. Remember Harvey? After after Hurricane Harvey, we learned about Harvey Weinstein, right? But the same place where Harvey was flooding that state, the Lone Star State, Houston, Texas, the Rockets, Astroland with Mr. Sicko, the coonish behavior that's been outed in this week alone by Uncle Murder and a few other people, that the brother was making some real suspect and questionable statements about Mike Brown, amongst some other things. So in this same state at the end of the year, I believe it might have been Christmas Day. If I'm incorrect, maybe somebody could correct me. But in the Walmart or Kmart parking lot, there was the murder of a 7-year-old uh, star seed, right? If you look at her pictures, she's a star seed, okay? I believe her name was Jasmine, and they call her Jazz. I didn't hear nobody from Walmart talk about nothing. I didn't hear about no president saying nothing. I didn't hear about no black celebrities really saying nothing. I didn't hear about politicians calling that a hate crime and an act of terrorism on American soil. So this black mother had her daughter taken from her, right, by a race soldier who's playing a real life game of Fortnite, okay, and the purge against people of color, like they've been doing all around America this year, last year, right? So then the year starts in January, and we're introduced to a scenario where another white man or racist race soldier or, Caucasian assaulted and attacked an employee of a corporation, a multi-billion-dollar corporation of death. right? And unhealthiness, because I said health is wealth. So McDonald's represents the opposite, the polar opposite of wealth. It represents poverty. It is a poverty paradise. Okay? It's where poverty is sold to billions of people daily. The diet is a sad diet and it's for poor people and it produces poor mind states and people have poor behaviors. Keep in mind, nigga, McDonald's is UFC, nigga. You think that fight was something? You should go online and pull up McDonald fights, nigga. They get down to McDonald's, nigga. McDonald's has been the motherfucking center of a lot of kickboxing and knockouts more than Madison Square Garden lately. How about that? It's just not that one McDonald's, nigga. They fights in McDonald's. Niggas throw hands and chicken McNuggets in McDonald's. Facts. That's super facts. She got her motherfucking Mayweather to McDonald's because she know in McDonald's niggas throw them hands, 52 hands, the 52 hands milkshake, shit like that. So when I used to go to McDonald's, we used to know, nigga, at any minute, if Ronald McDonald comes in there on some shit, you have to knuckle up because it goes down to McDonald's. You could be monster for your cookie. Facts. It's the fucking food though. Nobody want to address the food. Niggas just want to talk about her hands and whatnot. No nigga, Bun McDonald's. Like take her out of their shit. Them niggas that was standing there that didn't do nothing. Leave them there. You know what I'm saying? Just get rid of McDonald's. And get rid of McDonald's. So I put an article up that said the girl was fired. And these niggas with they fake ass, you niggas went to see Sherlock the other day and come around thinking you Sherlock Holmes. Oh, she didn't get fired. Nigga, this is quantum. She got fired and we're boycotting McDonald's, you weird ass niggas. You want to do the research on that, but don't got the research on nothing else. Nigga, she got fired. How about that? And he got arrested with a misdemeanor and he's out on $500 bail. And he really got a B misdemeanor, you know, and the nigga didn't get locked up the same way that if Jerome was two-piecing motherfucking a Becky, you know, if Jerome had grabbed the Becky, get that nigga around a Rousey, he would have got hanged by fucking George Bush Jr. and Donald Trump together one of these days coming up. They'd have had that nigga public, they would have had a call for his killing or hanging, a lynching. So niggas is too soft. Niggas is on moist mode. Niggas is on sicko mode. It's a fucking done data. Like it's a factory. It's too much taking place for it not to be. Because nobody rang no alarm about the shit in Houston. But then we start the year with this set energy. Then we start the year with this Ogun, this Shango energy. Then we start the year with you know, with the black sister fighting back because we ended the year with one. She probably seen that report before she came to work and was affected by it as well, the same way that it had affected a lot of us, and was like, I'm with the shit. Fuck is you talking about? Ready to pop because we being triggered every time that they pull them triggers. That PTSD and that fear factor and all kind of other shit is secreting in the subconsciousness and in the hearts and minds of Negroes who are paying attention or who are caught up in this psyops. That is a fact. They keep pushing the button and strumming the shit the same way that they play games with their mice. Universe 25, I believe, or Universal 25. It's the experiment that they did with rats in the 60s to help the behavior of how public housing that are called conveniently projects. But this project is called Universe 25. Go and Google it. It will be in the presentation as well. This is all social engineering. This is all a matrix. This is all a program. I am here to rewrite the program. I'm a disruptor. I'm a code writer. I'm a decoder. Okay, I'm Mr. Facts. You speak things into existence and then you make them change because remember, what the fuck, whatever you write, you gotta speak it, huh? You just can't write some shit and think it. You know what I mean? Speaking is the act of articulating the shit that you write. So the code writers, the ones who write the future into existence, are also the ones who speak it into existence. And like I said before, rappers and hip hop artists are the modern day priesthood because they're the code writers who are speaking their codes by rhyming them on top of beats, and then they're making things either come into an existence, they're either destroying or building. So in their quest to build, they're also destroying, but they're doing it with the power of the spoken word, the sword. That's the and I promise you, the artists of hip hop who are the priesthood who basically has control over hearts and minds of millions of people on the planet. And I would argue they could be even greater than organized religion is pop culture right now on this planet, especially to the youth who were born into the shit. Like I said, I wasn't born into the shit like that. They were born, and that's all that they know. They don't know anything else but what they were born into. So they're like, yo, I don't go to church, nigga. You know what I'm talking about? I don't go to church. I go to the club to turn up. Nigga, that's church. I go to Magic on Mondays. How about that? You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? I see Virgin Mary and Mary Magdalene and all of them in there. And I make it rain. I make it precipitate, you know, and I play my part. That's how niggas see things sometimes. And the rappers and the MCs and the artists and the trappers, them niggas are the preachers. Them niggas are they giving them the sermon. Little Baby called his album Street Gospel because that's what it is. That that's why they talk to your soul. They telling you to get up and get that money. Get up and shake that ass. Show me what you're working with. You know what I mean? It has the same kind of kick that Martin Luther King, you know what I'm saying? That cadence that they use in that get up, get up off your feet. And James Brown ran with that. It's all ancestral, it's all in the gumbo. But now they're telling you to get up and shake that ass, get up and they're utilizing that powerful their melodies. Because remember, if anybody's ever been in a Christian Southern Baptist church and they're singing those hymns and they're hitting those organs, they're on those organs and they're hitting certain notes and they're singing in cohesion and orchestrating all kind of beautiful tones and vibrations, and it's okay. Use that aspect into we take that aspect and throw that into what the Migos and them is doing with the motherfucking ad libs and all of those organs and things that they're talking about. Mama, you know what I mean? And all of the shit that's going on, that's trap gospel. Talk to me now. That's trap gospel. That's what they giving niggas. They feeding them a whole new niggas is indoctrinated on biblical levels to mumble rap at this point right now. Facts. That shit is life. That is the religion, nigga. Face tats. It's a knife. You understand? Motherfucking perms. You know what I mean? Full body, full face tats, everything. Niggas is indoctrinated. Riding with the extendo, gang banging. You know what I mean? Pulling up in a demon like I'm God. ZZ, nigga. Like, niggas is about that life. They're indoctrinated in this culture like it's a religion, it's a cult. It's a death cult too. It's a deaf culture, going back to what I'm saying, that when I say deaf culture, I'm speaking about it in a broader term rather than somebody just dying, because niggas do that every day, B. Okay? I'm speaking about it in the term of with the frequency of what it represents. There's a certain frequency that where it's basically death. Okay? There's a certain frequency, a certain vibration that signifies even walking death. So that death culture keeps a low frequency. It promotes a low frequency. It promotes anti-life. I posted something on my Instagram. The number one killer in 2018 was abortion at, I believe, 41 million. Don't quote me. It might be different, but the biggest killer in 2018, bar none, abortions. Bird Box, self inflicted murders. Bird Box, self inflicted suicides. Bird Box, yourself. It's not, nobody is doing, it's Bandersnatch. Nobody is making these decisions for you. You did that. You did plan B. You did the abortion. You had sex to get to prior to the abortion. You didn't protect. It's decisions that people are making in this world right now because, like I said earlier, this westernized culture is a play. This westernized culture deals with a level of individualism. This westernized culture is spinning out of control because it doesn't have, it has no foundation. It's being stripped of all of its morals. It's being stripped of all of its values, almost like de-waxing a floor. And by doing that, it's creating an amoral society which will eat upon itself. This is the proverbial Kali Yuga before your very single eyes. It's being deconstructed. This is a result of the deconstruction era. Okay, this is globalization and all kind of other things. But what this shit is not, my nagas and my negooses and even my niggas, nigga, this is not this is not gangster's paradise. It's not that. You need to snap the fuck out of that one because that's not what this is at this moment. It's not that. It's some whole nother shit. You feel me? It's some whole nother shit. And if you don't focus, you're not, you're gonna miss the motherfucking jump. You're gonna miss it. You know, you're gonna catch that elbow. But to deepen the rap, I'm just using the rappers to show you how influential and powerful our generation is, our people are. You understand? I don't want to get into all of the particulars of what artists are and what they aren't. Nigga, they're one of us. Everybody comes from a neighborhood that one of us, and this deep ass roll call that we all named out. There's one degree of separation. Everybody knows somebody who's in the industry or who's on TV or whatnot. You know what I'm talking about? There's nothing fucking special about that. It's nothing, you know, you know, that's nothing to write home about. But we know that the influence of this culture is very far reaching. It has unknown depths that it's reaching. And by representing the fifth pillar of this culture, which is the knowledge, which will be quantified as consciousness. That's the fifth pillar of hip hop. That's the pillar that the twin pillars are representing, along with other. We represent master of ceremony. We represent designing and art. These are pillars of hip hop. Hip hop is not rap music. Hip hop is master of ceremony, DJ, graffiti, which is art, dancing, which is break dancing, all the way down to Millie rocking and niggas doing a Fortnite dance. MCing is poetry, spoken word, bars, freestyling, people battle rapping, you know what I mean, story writing, mumble rapping, trap rapping, all of that falls under that category. Then you have the missing pillar, which is culture and knowledge and consciousness. And that's the pillar that we proudly hold and stand. It was a broken pillar, it was non existent in certain eras, and now it's back. And you can see the effects of it being back because it's more niggas waking up than going to sleep, my niggas. Okay? It's more niggas waking up. The big homies in them niggas is woke. You know what I mean? And niggas still have problems with that. They still complaining and shit. But the big homies in them is woke. They watching and listening and tapping in. They strapped in. They clap you in a coma. Niggas is sprinkling all kind of our people are so doubtful. Our people are so angry. Our people are so, and I'm not saying our people because that's not our people. That's your man's in them. You know, the people are so fucking finicky and picky and mangina like that nobody can never fucking do anything right. You know what I mean? Nobody can ever be having no good intentions around them. Niggas is so, you know, untrustworthy of everything that you don't even see shit when it's a blessing. But I'm in the street, bro. I have a perspective that's unique that I share with many people, but I'm aware that I'm aware that there's less people that I share with than I thought. But nigga, I'm in the trenches, and I'm not just talking about New York. I take my motherfucking show on the road, nigga. I keep this shit moving. You dig what I'm saying? I activate grids. I plant seeds. I harvest states. You know what I'm saying? Like I got movements in different states just based off of pulling up years ago. You know, I make my, I leave my mark. As you should too. Shit. You know, you writing your own movie, right? You making it happen. Shit. I can only speak for my director chair about what I'm doing with mine. But as I travel through this whole grid, as I move through this matrix, man, oh man, let me tell you, this shit is lit. It's litty and it's pretty. It's litty and it's pretty. And you might not know that if you never leave your city. You might not be aware that this movement is popping and our people who are on a higher resonance, who got their minds right, even got their money right, you know what I'm saying? Even have and are ready to make beautiful things happen in the realm of positivity, uh building, you know what I mean? Because you have to be very clear these days. Keep in mind, because like I said, there's people out here that are trying to, set traps, you know what I mean? And make people become subversive on the internet in the age of the BIE, so they could basically trap them up. You know what I mean? So you have to be aware of the your lexicon. Got to be very aware of your lexicon. Can't be all, because them people is watching, man. So I advocate for our people to do right. I advocate for growth and development. I advocate for social entrepreneurship. I advocate for the advancement of occult sciences and metaphysical studies and knowledges, something that is a tradition and is hundreds of years old, and it has basically penetrated all corners of the planet, the Middle East, the Orient, the Asia Major, Asia Minor, Euro Asia, or Eurasia for that matter, Northwest Mexico, the Caribbean, and all places. You know, So for those of us that are out here actively pursuing that and making those things happen, and that's just a small definition of the overall mission statement. But for the most part, you know, it's 2019. There's technology that are in our hands and at our disposal that can help organize, and it's going to organize and to put into a better um, stream of to put it into a better membership or a better collective or a better organized state, meaning that it means nothing to have 400 plus people on the stream tonight if there's no action taking place. That means it means nothing to speak in front of thousands of people if there's no building taking place. If there's no action, learning is one thing. We're gonna learn. I mean, bet your bottom dollar. You wherever I pop up at, and I'm not just saying that because I'm feeling myself right now, which I am. You know what I'm saying? If you must know, but that's not even the reason for that. You know, I just know that whenever I go in, whenever if I go on, I'm not wasting your time or my time. So when I like going in, nigga, when I talk, I go in. So that's rhetorical. I'm not trying to do anything. I'm just building. Like this is what I do. Anybody that knows me will let you know that nigga's not going in. He's just talking. He's really just building. This is how he builds. Because that's why I tell you, make sure that when you have the opportunity to see us teach or you have the opportunity to see us do something other than just build, you pull up for that. You pull up for that. I'm not a one trick pony. You know, you have a lot to offer. You feel me? You know, and y'all, y'all are deserving. You know what I'm saying? Y'all are very deserving. I got a lot of people that have been riding with me for mad long, you know, from different eras. Cause we're like in a whole nother era right now. Fuck around, this is quantum, like I said. But this is a whole nother era. From the era that I could that I could bring up from like 2008, exactly 10 years ago. That was a whole nother era. Oh, it was some of the same characters, but it was another era on it, in it of itself, as it always has to be, because you know that's the markers of how time, and the only thing constant is change. So nothing stays the same. So you're always gonna be reminiscing. You're always gonna be, yo, back in the days, King. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? I don't want to be that back in the days type of dude. Yo, in '08, in '08 this, in '08 that, because that's the magic of film, or that's the magic of books. Like if I want to do all of that, I put it in a book. I write a book, or I write a script, or I could write rhymes. I could write a song and be descriptive, but you know, I ain't gonna be putting you in a time machine all the time and just reminiscing on. It's too much stuff going on right now. It's too much going on right now. So why am I going to take you into times that you did not exist in, and you don't you know? But that's important though. Let me backtrack, because even though you might not have been there, you know, the context of where we're at today has a lot to do with where we were at 10 years ago. Because like I said, there's a lot of characters that are still at play in this race from those days. So you to understand what's going on today, it is important to understand what was going on back then. So, inshallah, that story will be told very soon, because it's the greatest story never told. And I'm not just talking about my behalf. I'm talking about for everybody that's in this conscious community. The story about how everybody got to where we're at right now, that is the greatest story never told. You feel me? That shit is that's world history. It's a beautiful story. It's a beautiful you know, it's a beautiful journey and experience. And, I'm gonna leave it at that. Cause like I said, I'm not giving out too many stock tips. I'm not giving out too many stock tips. The benefit, and shout out to my patrons. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be doing some lives with the patrons. That's where a lot of the stock tips we come out. You know what I mean? Like, and when we do these online curriculums, I want you to be very aware, family, that in the very upcoming. Remember, we're in the winter season, right? In the winter season is the best time that I will be able to be not mobile, but I'll be able to be stationary for a certain amount of time. So in the winter season, we're going to be bringing forth KTL University, which are going to be online courses and also live online classes during the weekdays and also during the weekends, where webinars and definitely a high level of um, interactive online activity through some of these the site that we're going to be using, the platform, and all of the tools that come with that platform. We're going to have some fun. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have some fun. I'm going to make this shit. I'm going to make this vision that I have come to life, and we are going to have a blast. Think KTL radio in an online university form. Like, this is going to be dope. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to talk too much about it. Like I said, it's on its way. You feel me? It's on its way. You know, but events like that blood moon that's coming up, it's events like that that really bring that shit on its way. That's how it comes. That's how it, I'm giving you a little secret right now. Like, it's the magic that we do. It's the energy work that we do. You feel me? It's the feeding of the ancestors that we do, that make these ideas of ours manifest. You feel me? Come to life. You got to spirit cook your damn self. You know what I'm talking about? Just can't run around talking about how they cooking. You got to get on the stove too, nigga. It's stir fry any way you look at it. You got to cook too. So it's time to cook. It's time to cook. And we'll be cooking on YouTube, but we're really gonna be cooking when we're off of YouTube, and we're more in a more secure and a more uh teachable environment. Cause you think this YouTube shit is cute. No, nigga, I can't even share my screen right now. Like, I can't teach. I could turn around if I could pull up a whole lecture and go in. Yeah, that's nigga, that's winter wonderland. That's beautiful. And YouTube doesn't have the tools that I can use to do that. So we're gonna go off of the YouTube platform, because this is for Third Eye Thursdays. This is for Melanin Mondays. Like, I don't use that YouTube. I don't use this channel for much else. I'm not sitting in a fucking room doing my eyebrows and shit, showing you niggas how my foundation looks. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not on YouTube just doing nothing. But I don't want everybody to, don't ever fucking think because I'm not on YouTube, nigga, I'm not living, or I'm not building, or I'm not creating, or I'm not organizing. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm not mad busy and I'm not working and I'm not relevant in life. Like, I don't ever want nobody to make that mistake, because there's a bigger world outside of this. And there's a lot of things going on when these cameras are off. Let's be very clear. Let's be very clear. You know, So as we move forward, we're going to take advantage of that. And we're going to, like I said, we're going to be merging. We're going to go places. We're going to have retreats. We're going to come into the physical world and make real life events take place from outside of this digital realm. But as we build in this digital realm, which is a beautiful place to be, and this is a wonderful experience, we have to take advantage of the times that we have right now. You feel me? So I might never see you again. Might never see me again. The power's in the now. The power's in the now. Don't ever forget that. You know what I'm saying? Don't put shit off. Don't put shit off. The power is in the now. So if you want to make it happen, what's up? Let's make it happen. I'm here. Let's do it right now. What you want to do? What you want to make happen? It's 2019. The motherfucking genies are out. They granting wishes. What do you want to do right now? Not tomorrow, because that don't exist. And not a few minutes ago, because that don't exist. You can't prove it. The only thing that exists, nigga, is this moment. So what we gonna do? We can make change happen, so we could experience a new experience. And I don't want nobody typing anything subversive or COINTELPRO-ish in your comments. Because I'm not talking about no smoke, nigga. The only smoke that you niggas should be talking about is this blunt is lit. And other than that, we don't even have to have that conversation. Because, like I said, I don't have those conversations on YouTube. Okay. So don't hit me with the fake Negro outrage about how you want to go burn some shit down and kill Whitey and whatnot, because that's not the conversation. Okay. You know what I mean? And I don't believe you anyway. So nothing personal. It's just that I listened to a lot of niggas' videos for damn near 10 years and I was waiting for that day. And it never happened. So I just lost faith in everybody. So, and that's like I said earlier, stop having those conversations online. I'm just trying to save you niggas from having child with Big Meech. Like, stop having those conversations. Stop having those outrages on social media where you're giving away. You know what conspiracy is? You know how easy it is to put a nigga in a. You're being conspiracy theorist all day. And people are reacting and they're doing terroristic threats and and verbal attacks, against trolls and whatnot, you know. But these trolls are being sent to set them up in order to react. And the people who are data mining, meaning scrubbing your pages, scrubbing all of your social media, and taking all of your indictable motherfucking posts and cataloging them and putting secret indictments together where niggas have Takashi accounts, 21, like 21 Savage, nigga. You know what I mean? And what I'm trying to explain to people is stop putting your foot in your mouth and learn how to communicate in ways. This is not '08 anymore. Learn how to communicate in ways where you're not putting yourself in a conspiratory motherfucking whatchamacallit bullseye. And that's real talk. And if a nigga can't respect that, well, go suck your muma. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing that I could tell you at that point. That's just some OG wisdom, something that I'm gonna have to follow myself as well. But when I heard Rick Ross on Vlad break that shit down, and remember, nigga, this is Rick Ross. This the godfather of this fucking movie that you niggas live in. I don't think you understand what's going on. This is a game, and Rick Ross is the father. He's known as the godfather of this crack shit. He said that to conspire, meaning that if you niggas is just kicking the shit, them people could run down on you. Among so many other things. So trap music, nigga, trap consciousness. Don't fall into the traps. Don't fall into the traps. Because I promise you, they let homie go from the BIE who they ran down on, but he was only a patsy in order for them to put the shit that is out there. It was only to, you know what I mean? And by them just letting homie walk, you got other people thinking there's something sweet about that thing. But these people got a culture war taking place. China declared war against hip hop. Russia declared war against hip hop. Steve Bannon and all of these alt-right conservatives, they declared a culture war against hip hop. That's war against you niggas. That was the war. That's the war. That's when they sacrificed Trayvon during All-Star Weekend. That was a ritual, family. We have a show on Google on Blog Talk on Factor 1, 2, and 3. We go all the way in on that. That it was a grand ritual. Even if it didn't, even if it wasn't planned to be a ritual, the way that that thing played out has a lot to do with this quantum universe that many of us find ourselves in. This reality, this quantum reality. We're in a situation where they utilize um, the lynching of a young man, son of a Mason, by another son of a Mason, a Spanish Jew, who were historically, you know, utilized by Jesuits to go against the Moriscos. You know what I'm saying? They were the ones, the Spanish Jews were the ones who crossed some of the Moors during the capitulation of the Moors and the Jews, whatnot, and went against the Semitic brothers. You know, they're patched for the church, the Roman soldiers. Executed Trayvon on a lawn. And then after that, you begin to see a wave of trauma. Remember, keyword trauma. Shout out to Meek Mills for capturing the pain, the feeling of it. Going back to what I was saying about the priesthood, what the MCs and the poets represent, who took the power of the pen and then took it to a whole nother level through the through the verbiage and through the visuals, and put it on the drum, amongst other things. These people are powerful. They have influence over the hearts and minds because music sits at the top. It is not the capstone, but it sits at the top of the pyramid of all of this shit. So, trauma. They've been traumatizing our people with these lynchings, these extrajudicial killings that are triggers. They've been cooking through the media, and they've been introducing us to characters such as Black Lives Matter and some other colorful individuals, and they opened up, lanes for woke media, and they also kind of, not kind of, but people became woke by being traumatized on some shock and awe type shit, like similar to the trigger to 9/11, uh, the similar to the 9/11 trigger that's already implanted in niggas. Like there's already a 9/11 trigger that people have that automatically goes off. They know how to set that off, right? These killings, these lynchings, tied in with slave porn, tied in with miseducation, tied in with the rappers and other people mimicking these satires, mimicking, what they call minstrel shows, right? Mimicking all of that shit, bringing it back, resurrecting that kind of frequency, that vibe, that mind state, right? And that mind state is not it's not a mind state of power. It's not a mind state of uprightness. It's not a mind state of, understand? It's a mind state of folly. It's a mind state of weakness. It's a mind state of confusion, chaos. And that's been bankrolled, that's been invested in, that's been pushed. That's been, I'm talking about billions of dollars invested in multiple formulas and angles. You know how when the battle rappers got angles, that nigga got personals, then he got rebuttals. You know what I'm saying? Then he got reaches and whatnot. Then it's just gun bars, gun titles. Like they got multiple angles that they're coming in, programming, suggestion, planting ideas and seeds, and how they got cattle prods and putting people in certain prods, like making sure they go in certain directions or streams. Trap music. These are trappers. These are genetic trappers, descendants of trappers. You understand? It's in their blood. Trapper John, planters. Okay, they want to be masters. Westernized psychology encourages that. Individualists, sadomasochists, narcissists. You understand? Sociopaths, people who are suffering genetic inferiority complexes. Small dick energy. I'm talking about Iceman inheritance, white fragility, right? It's all in Trump. He embodies the whole thing. Once again, Dark Star Rising. Okay, this is it right here. Once again, I done emailed about 100 Dark Star Rising books. Shout out to everybody who hit me up for the PDF. I appreciate that. You know what I mean? I appreciate that so many people are listening and willing to do the research, that they're like, yo, they flooded my Instagram, my inbox with their requests, not with their emails. So I want to say to everybody else, if I say I'm giving, like, I'm gonna do it right now. If y'all want to get this as a PDF, right, free of charge, you know what I'm talking about, just because I'm a nice guy, hit my DM with your email on Instagram. Go to my direct message, EL_Filthmore, PHILTHMOOR, PHIL, Phil, right? Like Philip, THMOOR. And then leave your email. You got to leave your email. That's how I get in touch with you and send you your book. Okay? And then you read that and you study that and you go ahead and you take notes and you further the research based off of the things that are being explained to you in the book about certain things, like traditionalism. You know what I'm saying? They broke down a lot of stuff. I've broke down stuff similar to this information, so I know how important this information is to get you a better perspective about what's going on the internet. We're talking about a level of dark magic, and it's nothing to be spooky about. I'm talking about chaos magic. I'm talking about meme magic. I'm talking about synchromysticism. I'm talking about you can make real world events occur by manipulating events in the digital world. I'm talking about the power of the internet. You know what I'm saying? And how they can point to Donald Trump and the rise of Donald Trump, but also the rise of these online, quote unquote, white supremacist groups. You know what I mean? Or white fragilicist groups, right? So, these groups have risen the same way that the group that you all are familiar with, which is consciousness, has risen. You understand? It's still the law of duality. As we rise up in our consciousness and as we wake up and as we expand on the opposite, right? On the dual side of nature, right? On our dual side, you have to be able to identify on the planet Earth, if you adhere to what is known as the law of duality and the Hermetic principles, right? Who's your dual? Like, nigga, it's you and who else? So we've identified the white race to be our dual opposites. Some people don't see that, and they live in a, I don't know what world they live in. But in a world of duality, I'm like, no problem, nigga. That's a layup. It's these crackers right here. What's up? Well, goddamn it, they got their own awakening taking place. They got their own rise in consciousness taking place. Nigga, they got their own motherfucking movements taking place. That's a fact. And they got a strong man in the Oval Office and a whole team around him who are, you know what I mean, who are plugged in to their movements. Facts. Facts. And they listen for dog whistles. They listen to the master teachers that they got. They going through all of that shit. They're reviewing things, you know what I mean? Like they're doing they doing what they do, and you do what you do. You know what I mean? The key is that you gotta pay attention to you more than you pay attention to them. But if you could like if you get access into what's taking place, then it's only a verification of what you already know. This is shit that I already know. But to see them write it and put it in their perspective, and it's like they following that the narrative is being, you know, put in a book. That's very interesting to me. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like I've said before, 2019, the time should be spent to explore how the collective effects of people who are resonating at a certain kind of mental imagination, Afrofuturist, visionary, metaphysical, occultic, conscious, black, uh, you know what I mean? Black Afrofuturist, melanated mind state. How could thousands of them together at one time create real world results, right? By just tapping into the energy that we all possess just by being online together. Hmm? Or just by pulling up at an event and packing it out, completely packing it out and having so much like just having so much information and so much high level, just love just permeate through the whole building, and people are just having the time of their lives and also learning at the same time and making things happen, implementing solutions. Like that's the kind of future that I'm going to be speaking about manifesting. That's the power of the collective. That's the power of what we have right now, not tomorrow, not yesterday, right now, millions. So we can start small, but we got work to do, the corner. Like niggas can't roll into the 2020 looking bad. You feel me? And like I said, it's not that bad. Like, let's stop making this shit worse than what it really is, you know. So everybody's gonna send me their email as we do the show. No problem. No problem. Yeah. Yeah, that book is good. It's a good read. I'm gonna have more books for you. I got the 20 for 20 popping still. So send me $20. I'll give you 20 books. You know, send me $44. I'll send you more books. I got books galore, man. My cyber library is retardo. I'll never run out of books in my cyber library. That's why people talk about their physical library. I get it, but if you don't understand the long tail, if you don't understand that this is bits and atoms, this is bits versus atoms. If you don't understand the difference between digital and physical, or digital bits and atoms, then you don't understand the world that you live in right now. But the digital is the infinite. It's the long tail. It's called a long tail. It's the concept that you now live in the abundance. You now live in the reality where abundance is accessible like it was promised to you, and where it's acceptable is in the digital universe. People call it the online world or the internet and things of that nature, but it's the vast network of the online digital realm. So this new realm is an actual new dimension. Okay, there's been a transference of the old world or the old realm or the old dimension into this new dimension. This new dimension represents bits. The old dimension represent atoms. Atoms create physical beings. Atoms create physical things. Bits don't create physical things. Bits create digital things. That's what bits are. Atoms create what you see in front of you right now. I'm an atom-based being, but me in the digital realm that you're seeing me through your phone, that's the bits. Cause me physically, I'm not on your phone, family. I'm right here. That's bits. And the power of the bits over the atoms is that the bits are unlimited. The bits don't have the restrictions that the atom has. So you go from a world of brick and mortar, right? Where you had a physical store and that store has sizes and dimensions which indicate restriction, which indicate limitations, which indicate only certain things could be housed within this quote unquote geometric shape because volume can fill up there's a formula of volume filling up that shape. But when you go into the world of the digital world of bits, you don't have that restriction. So Tower Records had to go out of business because they folded under the restriction of the fact that they could not grow big enough, and there was competitions called iTunes and other people that are out there who had no restrictions because they don't have space restrictions because they're bits versus atoms, and they're adhering to the long tail. So what the long tail means is Tower Records had limited space, so they could only introduce you to limited genres of music. They only had a limited amount of space to display a certain amount of music. So although there were millions of people creating music in the world, because of the limitations of the shelf space inside of Tower Records, they were not able to introduce you to all of those musicians, thus losing out on millions upon millions of dollars of of earned income. Here comes iTunes, who has millions of subcategories, henceforth the long tail, meaning the tail never ends. So they're introducing you to classic ice blue, yodeling hip hop German swag. That's a genre. You feel me? And in that genre, they have multiple artists who are the shit in that genre who are basically capturing the eyeballs and the attention of millions of people because the numbers are charting it. Men lie, women lie. Numbers do too, but they run this motherfucking reality, this digital world of bits that we live in right now, nigga. You understand? Zeros and ones. But numbers can be manipulated. Yes, this is matrix. So men lie, women lie, numbers do too. And you it's gonna be harder to tell shit from what it what is that real player one. So like I said, can't even see my chat, yo. That's no fair. But yeah, okay. I think I see the chat now. See the chat now. I think I see the chat now. Yeah, it was good. I didn't even do my commercial yet, man. But yes, the long tail, the bits. Before I forget, you know what I mean. We are in the revolution, the digital revolution, and don't hit me with the technophobia because it's not going to work on this end. I don't adhere to that, and I respect your fear base or your fear philosophy on 5G and the androids and everything. But I'm merely only teaching information and disseminating it from a non-biased, non-emotional standpoint. Okay, I'm not advocating for people to sit in front of computers to, and to be exposed to radiation and all kinds of other things. But what I am saying that we live in the reality, we live in a in a, if y'all say that this is a system, well, the system has been adjusted. The system been upgraded, little nigga. The system went digital. This shit is a digital world that we live in. We live in a digital reality. Like I said a minute ago, the shit went into a whole new dimension. It's in a whole new dimension. So, you know, if you understand, if you overstand that, if you understand that, if you could tap into that, then you could ride this wave. You could get in where you fit in. You'll have a better understanding now. I'm just trying to get you to the now. You have a better understanding of now. That's an old concept about the long tail, but you could go and Google it. Chris Anderson wrote the book. He's the editor from the Wired magazine. He's a beast. Okay, he's a beast. The long tail, that book is a beast to this day. So go and get that. Understand the whole concept. He's giving you formulas that are applicable to this reality, keys to the matrix. When I understood bits versus atoms, nigga, you gotta come on, talk to me nice. I understood. He helped. You know what I mean? He helped with my perspective. This was long ago. Tell a long time ago, and that shit put me living right now. And not to see it from a victim standpoint, where I had the blindfolds of Sandra Bullock on, and I'm blind to that shit. Not the bird box, not to be blind to it. But look, I don't want to be rude, and I don't want to end the party when it just got started. You feel me? But it's 3:12 a.m. in my neck of the woods. You feel me? And you know, I got work to do in the morning, so I can't necessarily. I'm not doing. I'm not waking up at noon anymore. 2019. I'm on my early morning shit. Rocky Balboa. You know, I'm gonna have a young child with me, so I'm gonna be waking up even earlier very soon. So it's time to hit the sack. And we'll get back on Monday at Melanin Monday 51. Melanin Mondays 51. We'll be able to link back up and finish this conversation. But I just left you with some shit that you can chew on. You feel me? I just left you with some shit that you could definitely chew on. Like, think about what was just told. Think about what was just said about that whole thing about bits versus atoms. Hmm? The long tail. You don't live in scarcity anymore. That's why niggas in the slums of Africa is getting it the long way, nigga. Whether they getting it through the dark web or they getting it by building and dealing with robotics and engineering shit, or if they getting it like the Nigerians. Whatever they doing, they tapped into the infinite sea of the internet. So whatever little shanty town or village or whatever restriction that they find themselves in, they're getting themselves out of that, right? There's women who are taking advantage of the people infatuation with prostitution or voyeurs or just being being very sexually inclined to participate in voyeurism or whatever. And people are tapping into the world that is out there, and wherever they live and whatever they it doesn't matter about location anymore. You could live in Bikini Bottom, my nigga. You feel me? If you got a fucking signal, nigga, you're in. And the possibilities are limitless, nigga. This shit is limitless with the pill. Limitless. The nootropic to tap into the new sphere. This is limitless. So we'll have further conversations in the future about, all of these things. This is going to show up in print, like I said, for the family that's out there with the Fear of a Black Planet 2 book. That is definitely on its way. A lot of stuff that was talked about tonight will be in the book in its scholastical form. The lecture that's coming up January 19th and the 20th is going to be a problem. Look out for the promo coming up for that with me and Blue Pill. That's going to be powerful. um, February with Rick Ross and James Smalls. Nigga, that's gonna be a movie. Think about that combination. Professor James Smalls, Rick Ross, Highway Ricky Ross, or formerly known as Highway Rick Ross, and Red and Blue Pill in the deserts of Vegas. You know what I'm talking about? I look forward to that. I definitely look forward to that. And then we will have some more things come. We have March 9th in New Haven, Connecticut, with the Triple Pillars, Cambada Pill. We linked up with the major radio station out there, and we're gonna be doing something with Jay Kemp, Jay Scholar, and that's gonna be monumental on Biggie's Day, March 9th. New Haven, Connecticut. I need y'all to pull up and be in the building. So yeah, that's about it. You feel me? But that this was fun, and we'll get back. You know what I'm talking about? I wanted to leave it on that A. Rashid, but it's 3 in the morning. I don't want to be playing too much music and shit. You feel me? But go check that Twin album out. You know. Matter of fact, we gotta finish with a commercial. Finish with some pieces, man. Need y'all to go and support Kings County. Salute to everybody that has supported Kings County over the holiday season. It was a run on Kings County. It was Black Friday on Kings County for real. You feel me? Like they was shopping. They was loving them Garveys. You know. So I appreciate every one of y'all. And for everyone who hasn't got placed the order yet, what you waiting for? You know? I want to sell 1 million of these. Real talk. I want to sell 1 million of these. You know what I mean? Like these Garveys need to be in 1 million. 1 million people need to have this on their chest. These shits is fire. Hands down. Hands down.
It is from 10, 15, 100,000 years ago on the Nile. That God named Sam. Now you got some black biologists trying to outlaw the word nigga in the use. Can you imagine them locking niggas up, saying nigga, night. So what they do is, when you're in the future and you can't remember your past, you don't have a present. Yeah. We're in the age of iron, far away from Zion. The pain defied them, in the insane asylum. So much pain inside them. Wasn't raised for triumph, only raised for violence. By the way, we died. Threw away for guidance, they threw away the science. So much rage inside them, they grew to hate the giants. Study ways to fry them, so much shame inside them. They grew to slay the giants. That's a major triumph. We are some ways confiding. The last days are winding, and the days complying with the ways of tyrants, and every way defiant of the ways of Zion. We in the age of iron, in them days of winding. Yeah, the rays be shining, showing ways of guidance. Yeah, sage of shaman can get paid for rhyming. Either get rich or in the grave for trying. They show what ways of trying, causing ways of violence, and every way they trying. The praise deciding, look away denying. They can't say we lying. At the age of apologists, age of apocalypse, age of the opposites, fly away. Rocket ship, fly away on the rocket ship. You see the significance of this?
Okay.
We're
We have our Garvey Varsity. Okay. This is 3M Reflector.
In the present. So what does this mean? semi splurges.
Like that.
They know many purges and hidden purchase. Y'all spirits with many curses. They pinch and they penny purses. Welcome to the modern day utopia. Where indigos remember Mama Sophia. We're sending foes so they in a sofa pharmacopoeia. Pills and potions, kills emotions. Crimea River fills the ocean. Boys in the hood, they style furious. All red, everything they style delirious. They style delirious. Load these balls of Mars, few miles from Sirius. Beating the pavement, cheating, enslavement, speaking engagement, weakening caimans. Institution, financial or otherwise, they always want you to do what you can sign. You sign every transaction is society. You sign. All that comes from the Bible. It's Kabbalist. Then the Bible says, by 2 or 3 witnesses shall all things be established. That's contract. That's notary.
Glitter.
Yeah. I made a sacrifice. I'll be wide awake while everyone's sleeping. I made a sacrifice. Trying to make sure that my family eating. I made a sacrifice. The money to hold the clothes, the tools. I made a sacrifice. Cause that's what a king is supposed to do. I made a sacrifice. I made a sacrifice. I made a sacrifice. I made a sacrifice. I got the appetite for living a lavish life. So I gotta sacrifice. Now you in the afterlife. I need the resources. I'm carrying 3 crosses. Plugging like 3 bosses. Giving them free courses. You will pay for your sins. You will pay for your sins. Try to play with the twins. You get slayed in the end. You will aim for your top. You get grazed in the chin. As you raise from the top. We was raised for the win. Jump in the water and rock them. You was gonna shoot you a nothing. But you be smoking a rocking. Wesley Muhammad said not to smoke. Went from power to the people. To the power in the needle. Went from flowers and cathedrals. To the sour in the needle. They defiled one placebos. Traded Falcon for the eagles. Traded Malcolm for the Eagles. Traded Talon for the kilos. I made a sacrifice. I'll be wide awake while everyone's sleeping.
That's just some pieces right there from the collection. You know what I'm talking about? Go and check that out at kingscounty.bigcartel.com. That's a K and with a Z. kingscounty.bigcartel.com. All right? Love and light to the family. See y'all on Monday.
You expect to go to Paris.